Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another week, the final day of week 6 of 8 weeks of the HyperX Scrim Season 1, presented by OUTcast Esports, casted by me, RANDOMX, and of course, Misfire Pickford, who I will be joining in a VC very soon. He can go ahead and fill us in with all the interesting developments that have gone on since the last time I've casted these scrims. I do expect a full lobby tonight. There is a 3-minute delay, so I'll try to chat up as much as I can in chat, since I won't be able to directly respond to anything verbally with a 3-minute delay, right? So kick back, relax, and we shall be joining Pickford in a VC very soon and talk about some things. Thank you, guys. Watch some commercials too before we join that VC with Pickford, so just chill. All right, so let me go ahead and join in the VC with our buddy Pickford real quick so we can have a chat, a discussion of what's been going on thus far of this HyperX Scrim Season 1. Hello. What's up, Pickford?
Hello, sir. How are you doing on this wonderful Friday evening?
I'm just chilling as usual, ready to see some action. Kind of, I've been enjoying being able to join in this VC for you for a lot longer than I did when I first started casting these. So we can get down to some of any interesting developments going on since I last casted these Friday. I'm sure you're gonna be able to fill us in. So go ahead and tell maybe some new people in the stream that haven't been keeping up with this season so far, and maybe fill them in on what's going on so far.
Well, Random, any extra time I get with you is always, I always enjoy and I want. But right now, it is, people have kind of set their goals for the last 2 weeks of the season, with 187 Black expanding their lead last week. They're up 348 points to 269.
Wow.
On Dream Killers, so they're starting to maybe pull away a little bit, making it, although it's not mathematically a probability. What happens is 187 Black is just not having bad matches. It doesn't matter really how good other teams do. If you get first place, you can only get 30 points. And if 187 is coming in second or third or fourth, and you're getting first, you are going to close it. You are going to cut it back, but it's not going to be enough to really close those distances. But with that said, the races for 2 through 5 are very, very close. You have Dream Killers with 269, Hacks 241, OUTcast Alpha 231, The Woo 196 in 5th, and then True Esports with 188 right behind them. So that's second to 6th place, with all those other prizes are very, very, very close.
So very competitive
really,
for those
each
spots.
Match.
Yes.
Pretty much any one of those teams besides 187 Black in 2nd through 6th, if they win, which is all won matches before, if they win, they're going to probably move up a spot and obviously get themselves a better prize. With that said, Trick in that cherry topper popper roll with 157 total kills so far through the season. But Clown coming up behind him with 116. Clown fragged out pretty much last weekend and was able to close it by almost 10 kills. So with that said, if he can close it with 10 kills in one match or one scrim, with 7 scrims left, he's obviously well within the ability to close that distance. Clown with 116, Mr. Zebra from 187 Black with 110, Junie with 92, Sarge with 86, rounding out the top 5, but Twist only right behind him with 85, Satan with 81, Marsh 79, Ghost 77. All these guys, a lot of teams, guys within 5, 6, 7 kills. These guys can go out and frag out double-digit kills very, very easily, and will be able to maybe close it. So, although some races are kind of spreading out, there's still a lot more information and a lot more excitement for all the various other prizes. And a lot of teams are kind of like looking to do the best they can do in regards to their little sections. And we talked about it earlier with teams that are in kind of that 7th through 11th. They're all kind of like fighting for like that spot with, Metaphor with 159 to Misfire with like 125, trying to like get to the top of their little section and do as best they can. Because if any team pretty much in the top 10 wins the entire scrim, they're going to leapfrog still a bunch of teams. And if a team has a poor night and comes to 16th through 25th, it only gets 1 placement point. It's really going to do them a lot of damage, because these scores are still so close, regardless of where they are in the roster.
That's good. So we should see a lot of good competition, especially like you said. Maybe potentially that first place spot is out of reach. I mean, it's almost getting mathematically impossible to do so. Mm-hmm. But like you said, those 2 to 6th place. Mm-hmm. That's where the real competition is going to be right there, and we should be able to see a lot of it tonight. Teams are already filling in.
What we've seen also is we've seen a lot of teams coming in and doing very well, but only playing a match here, a match there. And one of the teams we're going to talk to tonight is Team Genesis. They came in, I think they came in Let me check I think they came in the second or third on Wednesday. Let me get the official. And we have a lot of teams that maybe don't play a lot of matches, but they're coming in here. They came in second place on Wednesday. And not only are they scored those second place points, but they're so far back they can't really get enough points to get into like the top 10.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're taking that second place points from a team that really does need it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're really kind of jamming up. So we're going to talk to Attitude or Genesis about that tonight in one of our interviews, where a team that kind of where they came from, why they they started a little late, why they decided to jump in now, and how they feel as their role as kind of like disruptors and really kind of taking points away from the teams that really need it in the top 10.
We'll be joining also with C-Dub this week.
Yeah, C-Dub, we're going to talk with C-Dub in between matches 2 and 3. One thing, as these scrims random get more and more sweaty, more and more difficult, we've really seen that when the fifth circle, we'll watch it tonight, we'll kind of point it out tonight, we get to the fifth circle, we're going to have approximately 15 teams. And when we go from the fifth circle to the sixth circle, which is about 2.5 minutes, we're going to go from 15 teams to about 9 teams. So we're going to lose as many people in that 3 minutes as we pretty much have lost almost in the previous 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that circle is so small and people get so condensed and rotating so hard that there's no place for them to go. So we're going to talk to C-Dub about, because one thing they're very good about is getting compounds, getting safe, and because if you can get past that 15th to 9th, one, you're going to get more points. And two, if you can get in there with a full squad, you put yourself at a great advantage. Even if you run up against a 187 black with 2 people, if you got 4 people, your chances obviously are going to improve. And so you want to get into that, going from 15th to 9th with your whole squad. So we're going to talk to C-Dub about how OUTcast Alpha works on that and gets that done. And in the first interview, we're going to talk to FP from Metaphor. Metaphor, are they the team that's kind of like the top of the teams that are not in the money themselves in true esports? So FP and the Metaphor can really get themselves into a top 5 spot, get themselves in the money, get themselves in the prize pack. What are they doing now? We had issues with them before. They were kind of known a team as BBC was like their best player. Everyone else was really a support player, but Real Deal has really stepped up. FP stepped up. BBC stepped up. The whole team has stepped up. What are they doing now for this last 2-week push to get themselves to guarantee themselves a top 5 finish going into the end of the season?
And who is that? You said we're gonna interview BBC.
FP.
FP. Okay.
FP is the leader of the Metaphor, and also I want to know how they got Metaphor Bravo, the all Spanish speaking team. I don't know who on their team speaks Spanish, but I do like that idea that they have it's all I've had a very interesting one on how they divide teams up. Whether it's by synergy or by skill or whatever, but to have like an all Spanish speaking team and an all English speaking team, I think that's the first I've heard of it in regards to like the tier that we're at, and that's what I'm talking to them and see how that worked out and how they came to that fruition. Because as you know, our Spanish speaking brothers and sisters out there love this game just as much as the English speaking ones.
I wish I could speak a lot better Spanish. I totally would try casting scrims in Spanish, but I get into the first sentence and bam, already mess up. So I won't even attempt it. Speaking of Metaphor, they are filling up. We are missing 2 members from the main team. Other than that, this lobby is looking really nice. We are missing Team 21, which is, let me actually pull out.
What is that? What is that team? DXD Esports?
Esports. That's fairly new that I haven't really seen.
I have not heard
Fridays.
that one.
Okay, so if you haven't heard it, so then there you go. That's a new
they
team
have not been
trying
in.
to
They have not been in yet. We've had a total of 64 unique teams and random as of today. Pay attention if you're a random follower and you're going to be paying attention on Saturday. 64 teams, 430 unique players so far as we finish out the 6th week out of 8 in this OUTcast Scrim season sponsored by HyperX. 430.
This is what I love about this, because by now in any kind of other tournament where it was a set teams for the whole entire season, I mean, you'd have teams already dropping out. These scrims maybe would be 12 teams, right? Despite how much you tell them if they're gonna get a ban on the next tournament, whatnot, you'll still always end up having teams that drop. I've seen it. Other people seen it. What's the beauty about these HyperX scrims is that they'll always have lobbies like this. 91 players in here right now. They're always going to be lobbies.
Right.
Yeah, they're always going to be full lobbies.
And a lot of these guys,
nice.
they're having, like the team that's in Team 25, last one standing, they show up every now and then. I think it's like if they decide they're not doing anything,
yeah,
they come in there and they can really do some damage. Like Genesis came in second place on Wednesday. So what I like about it is that we get a kind of like some kind of filler teams, teams that kind of come in here with their buddies, try to have a good time. But then we get some clappers, Meeseeks, top strikers, last one standing. Genesis come in here and really do some damage. So it's kind of a good mixture of like some of the teams are a little bit of a cannon fodder and get to some of the teams some points. But some of the teams come in here and really do wreck damage. Come in for a match or a scrim, they disappear.
Team Los definitely one of those teams that does that. Every time I get the opportunity to watch them playing in any kind of scrims, they normally clap. So we'll see what kind of a factor they'll bring into these scrims, especially with 187 right now, kind of in the lead. Might potentially not ruin their night, but we are talking about those teams from the 2nd to 6th place, where it is very tight in competition. And a team like Los coming in can really
if Los, it really depends on, I think, on Frankie and Floop. If those guys are on and at their top game, they are as good as any team in here. And I mean, including 187. Those two guys are on. I see them play when they played with Error. Floop used to play for Misfire. These guys can clap as good as anybody I've seen. But sometimes I don't know if they are on, like, they may be only paying like 80% attention. Maybe sometimes they get themselves overextended, make some dumb mistakes, and get themselves out early. So we'll have to see what lost team comes in tonight.
All right, so we are starting just north of Lipovko. I know a few teams like to drop there. It'd be interesting if teams still decide to go there.
I do like this flight path, though.
Yeah, this is a very nice flight path. Almost centered. Don't see nobody wanted to drop Lipovko.
I know that how much that they know how much that influence that influences the game. You always comment out when it's a bad play path and how much they can totally affect the entire dynamic of the scrim.
Like, this is a good flight path, but for any team that likes to make Lipovka their home, especially in the very beginning, that's definitely not a good flight path for them, because that's right over the little major city of Lipovka, and nobody's really dropping there. Nobody's even near there. Pachinki potentially could have a few teams dropping there. I do see the Wu, and look at the Wu by themselves inside Yasnaya. Nobody wanted to contest.
No one wants to
Yasnaya. Yeah. Nobody wanted to contest.
What we've noticed is that there are teams that some teams have their places they want to go to, and then there were some of the teams that are just going to like points of opportunity.
Yeah.
Lipovka really is a point of opportunity, where say Zarki, OUTcast Alpha is going to go up to Zarki. Misfire is going to probably go to Quarry. Dream Killers is going to go to Novo.
No, I don't know.
HP is
Alpha's
going to go
right
to
now inside of Watertown.
Who is?
Alpha.
Oh, they must have. Maybe they felt that it was better for them to drop hot right down into Watertown.
And there's actually nobody there, and there's no one inside Rozhok, so they can potentially shift into there. We do have two teams inside Pachinki. We have Dembassy and also Team Hacks.
And one of the problems is a team that plays like 2/3 of the scripts. A team like Luxury or the Vixens, they usually drop Primorsk, but they only play maybe 2 out of 3 matches. So their kind of reputation has kind of proceeded. But I tell you what, Ghost, Melee Elite, and Misfire, they've really been kind of fighting over this Quarry section this whole week. Kind of costing them both teams a lot of placement points.
Mommy iOS has already been knocked.
Is gonna.
Wow, 187 Clown. We were just talking about 187 Clown. He is currently 2nd place in amount of kills.
Hot,
yeah,
it is very, very hot. And he's like, like I said, 14 or 15 kills last week.
Unfortunately, was not able to get the thirst on Mommy iOS as Team Dream Killers was trying to get into Novo. Here comes Marshy.
Oh, but this is a huge battle right off the bat.
Glitch.
Dream Killers are 1 versus 2 team right off the bat. And to 187's credit, they usually kind of like crazy split loot up farm all the way up shelter up to mansion, but they've stayed a little bit closer by farm. And I think it's gonna be bad for them, because I tell you, if there's a team that can really stick it to 187 early, it's Dream Killers, the team currently in 2nd place.
And it looks like most of Dream Killers are going to escape. Unfortunately for Junie right now, there you go. Finally, the audio glitch has gone. Mommy iOS has been knocked yet again by 187 Clown. He was already severely damaged. Sarge very nearly getting knocked. Junie right now, though, by himself, his or herself, right there, currently with the rest of 187 Black rolling up behind
It's
Junie.
just as important to get your team together as it is to get weapons and stuff at this point, because you have that RNG factor right now where the teams are so spread out. They don't have anything for loot. They don't have really anything for guns except for what you dropped on. So it's very, very dangerous at this point. They got to go pick up Mommy. Mommy can't be picked up. He's just right there on the edge.
Yeah, Junie, unfortunately, though,
Yes.
in a different situation, surrounded right now. You hear it?
I mean, yeah.
He
I mean,
knows
Junie's in a
he's
bad,
up
bad
there.
spot.
No armor, helmet, but no vest at all.
I mean, if they can't get you out of it, they have the boat behind them. They can maybe get out of there and make it. It's better to have 3 than lose another player trying to save Junie. Though Junie is a great player, one of the top 10s.
Yeah, one of the top 10s
frag.
right now.
You don't obviously it's not a player you want to lose. He's currently in 4th place overall, so currently an all-star on the all-star team in regards to kills. But Dream Killers, it's how expensive is that going to be?
Down
and now
goes
Junie's got knocked, so I think now with Junie being knocked, I think that if I'm marshy the IGL, sometimes being the IGL is doing the unpopular thing, and that's kind of like, okay, we got to go, we got to get out of here. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they stayed until Junie. If Junie could have maybe gotten a knock themselves and gotten out of there, or gotten a knock before they maybe would have pushed. But now with Junie getting down, it's just best to get the heck out of there.
It's pretty much, there's no reason really to fight there anymore. Very fortunate as well for 187, as Pickford has just stated, they didn't have a whole lot of time to loot, so they're very low on meds. Should be fine.
That's the
they
thing
have
with
lost,
DK. They're going to have all of Nova to themselves. 10 HP to have all of military to themselves. Because OUTcast Bravo, they used to drop center military, but they've kind of gotten away from that and jumping in those 6 compounds right by the West Bridge. And a lot of teams over in Georgia Pool. Usually we don't have a Georgia Pool that bad.
I was actually noticing that
probably
too.
due to the plane flight, maybe a lot of teams didn't know where to jump, where to go until the last minute, and they figured let's just go Georgia.
Hey, you know what we could ask C-Dub is why they decided to hit up Watertown. That's not a usual spot.
I will put that on my notes, and I will ask. I'll make sure that that's the question we ask.
Maybe he's like, you know what? Nobody drops Watertown. Let's go.
I know that was when before the new map update, and we felt that Quarry was kind of had the loot enough for a squad. That was kind of our drop spot for a while. Is Watertown, because if you can get in there, it's very, very good. There's a lot of loot, but it's getting out of there. That can be very, very difficult because it's so centrally located.
And it's tough moving around too.
Yeah,
with that
exactly.
water everywhere. All right, so we still do have the 2 teams inside of Pochinki, Hacks and Embassy. Not much action going on there. I do see you. Let's go check out Gold. Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say if they drove straight down that road, they would have been met up by the Forgotten. That's definitely not a team you want to be driving past in a motorcycle. Very fortunate for them that they decided to do that. I don't know. Right now, they're currently looking for vehicles. They passed up a trike. This right here might be bad for them. It depends. It depends if the Forgotten see them. They see the Forgotten. They're turning around.
And if you see, they have Jay White on there. They kind of OUTcast Alpha. They're having a kind of a slow bleed of points. Not like having a bad match, but coming in 7th, 8th, 9th, losing a point here and there every night. Now they've gone from 2nd all the way down to 4th place. So they made a change recently while putting Jay White and bringing him up from the B team, putting him in and replacing him from Watto Heck.
I think Team 9. Let's see who is it. Anti-Sweat potentially.
Anti-Sweat. That's the B
flares.
team to Dream Killers.
2 flares called in right now. The moment OUTcast Jay White actually looked up towards there, and they're starting to head towards this direction. Oh no, never mind.
And your favorite team, Jinjin Stinchin, decided to take OUTcast Alpha's spot, and they boated all the way up. I think they boated all the way up to Zarky. But they're gonna be able to spend a lot of time up there because the edge of Zarky is gonna be in the zone. And Dark J from Minnesota Brown.
Gold and Jay White in trouble right now. Down goes Gold. Jay White trying to escape. Flips. He does have some meds. Oh no, then knocked from behind.
Esports.
Yeah,
that's
true
not
esports.
It's sport. And that is one of the problems that happens with OUTcast. You know how they like to loot and then rotate early into a compound. But they send out their patrols to go out there and kind of find a spot. And this happens to them sometimes. They'll get a guy knocked, and because they're on an island, now Jay White is really he's done. Gold is done, and that's gonna be Brownie and C-Dub. And obviously, when you go down to 2 players, that makes the game so much more difficult. And you're automatically in that defensive position.
Automatically changing your game plan right off the bat. At the time, Rozhawk was empty, but unfortunately for OUTcast Alpha right now, Jay White and Gold, right?
When it comes to scrims, I'm just not a big fan of Rozhawk.
They shifted into that same spot. I think, you know what it is, Pickford? It's that hill that they just killed OUTcast in. This hill, that's why every time whenever I play just in Classics, I always rotate towards that hill, because that hill is, although sometimes that hill can kind of screw you up, because then you also have to worry about people who had apartments at school as well from being up there. But unfortunately for OUTcast, half of the crew from OUTcast, that hill was very, very bad for them.
And this is a Friday night scrim, so they have the 4 matches, so there is a little bit more breathing room in regards to mistakes. So if OUTcast Alpha, if they're smart, which we know CW, we know those guys know what they're doing, they're going to probably tuck it in, try to get as good of a position as they can get in the first match, and then try to get more kills in the second, third, and fourth.
We have Mena 4 coming in towards Anti-Sweat. Drawn in by the 2 flares. I mean, you see 2 flares in the air. You kind of want to go there and take a peek. And unfortunately for Anti-Sweat, they've already lost Unknown. At the same time, there was some action going down inside of Pachinki with Hacks and Dembassy. One player was knocked with from Dembassy. There he goes. Madara thirsted. Another one knocked. So let's go back to George Pachinki. Looks like maybe potentially we're going to see a squad wipe here. Lovey right now, currently the last surviving member. He's about to be completely surrounded by Team Hacks. Jumps out, down he goes, turned into a box before he even hits the ground by Hacks. Hacks claims Pachinki. Hacks very frequently usually does jump towards Pachinki, and they just showed that that's their home.
And I tell you what, Hacks has had their ups and downs. They've been they were a team that for the first 2 weeks was in first place, dominating everybody coming out of nowhere. Now they're currently in 3rd place. They've had a little bit of stumble, but like we said, you run into this Hacks team. I don't care if you're 1-7 or if you're Dembassy, you're gonna have some troubles right off the bat. You know, and they have Peachy in there tonight. They have Lucifer, used to be Luis. Like great, obviously they've been here all the matches. They know the skills. They know what team can do what, and they're still a very, very, very strong team trying to keep OUTcast Alpha out of that 3rd place fit overall rate, because OUTcast Alpha is only 10 points behind them.
Yeah, definitely. Hacks is one of those teams, like you said, regardless, you never want to face off against Team Hacks, especially in the very beginning. You're bound to lose at least one member to them, and unfortunately for Dembassy, they lost the entire crew. Well,
you'll see it. You'll see like when, like say at 1-7, they'll run into a team like Top Strikers or the Forgotten, and they'll kind of purposely early in the match push up. The only team I've really seen that never pushes back is the Wu. They just don't give a crap. They'll come in 18th place or 2nd place. They just go they go after everybody. They're really the one team that I've seen that never ever kind of purposely shies away from a fight, and they're currently in 5th place.
He's going for those kills. Yeah, he told me he just wants the most kills. That's what he said. So he's definitely.
And we talked to him, and he's like they're just gonna go there. They're not gonna back up from any fight, no matter what. And like you said, you see that. That's I think if they played a little more tactically, they would definitely be probably a lot far higher up. But they just play with a reckless abandon. They just it's always full set with those guys.
And see, unfortunately, with no team contesting them in Yasnai, that means they get to loot that entire place by themselves.
Now they're already pushing the Rozhawk to get
and they're
nice
looted already. Yeah, they're nicely
guilds,
looted. And soon the kills are just gonna probably flow to them. We'll see. Trick didn't. If I remember last Friday, Trick did not have such a high kill rounds.
He's had kind of like, I don't know if he purposely does it. It's almost like he allows the teams to get close, and then he'll frag out for 20 kills. And then
he wants to give them that sliver of hope.
but when I see he's having a bad night, you see he'll have 5 kills in a scrim. In 3 matches, 5 kills, which him is terrible. For everybody else, is
that'd be an achievement for me. If I got 5 kills in 4 rounds, I'd be like, dude, I'm goated. But nah, Trick, that's a bad. When you're being said that's a bad night, that says a lot about a person.
Trick has got it over a 3 KM, and the average KM for the players that played is 0.63. So he's got his KD his KM is 5 times higher than the average. So
I
that's
think
kind of tells you why he's
we
in
just had
first
a team
place.
wiped right now.
Oh,
Yes,
uh-oh.
Charlie has been wiped. Men of 4 are fighting against Misfire. Let's go
It's
check that
Misfire
out.
in their rotation.
Fat
They're
Boy,
trying to rotate
Artemis,
through.
both knocked. Yeah, unfortunately. They must have been
And
sharing a
that's it.
vehicle.
Yeah, that's the story of this game. We talked how important it is in the RNG, just landing in a place where no one's at. That initial rotation, trying to get center, and then going from that 15th to 9th. Those are the three real hard spots. Now the last two guys in Misfire, the last one standing, are going to have pretty much roll up on this Misfire team, and with all four of their players, who it's going to be tough. But they kept that going. Looks like Drill Pie, Zozu, and Ginger are the only two left. And they're putting shots on Zyvex, Floop, and now here come the other two. What was it?
Yeah.
Frankie and Dizzy. So they got their all-star team. They got Zyvex, Floop, Frankie, and Dizzy. So I mean, they're not messing around tonight. They got a high-quality team playing tonight.
I just noticed Jinjin is in the main Misfire team. Isn't JJCC
Well, yeah.
named after Jinjin?
Yeah, well, Jinjin, he got called up because Vulcan.
Ah,
I think he had a hot date. I think he had a hot date tonight.
Okay. Fancy.
So that
Right.
as he's a young man, it's not like us old married folk who have we already that's happening more. Nice young lady. Look at they get and Jinjin takes
nice
out Floop
knock.
on that push.
That is a nice knock. Unfortunately, Zozu's about to get knocked.
He's way overextended outside. I don't know why he's outside the wall right there. I tell you, if Ginger can just Kobe right there, a grenade. I mean, you think that if Zozu should be talking to him, somebody should be talking to him, saying, "Hey, just throw a molly or a grenade over that wall." Maybe he doesn't have any.
No, he just threw one. Did not go over the wall. It wouldn't have done any damage anyways. Just one knock.
It's Frank.
He very nearly got another knock. So very nicely done for Ginger. Unfortunately, no kills for Misfire. That was very unfortunate. They lost half their crew to a different squad.
But hey, Ginger, I'm sure that the artist would say, "Hey, you got 3 out of 4 of LOS."
That was
like I said,
either way nice.
Zozu being a little overextended. Maybe they should. I like this the strat where if you're in a house, they know you're in the house, you kind of back up behind the house, but they still think you're still in there, but you're behind it now.
Yeah.
Instead of going up in front of the house. But that was those choice, and obviously the cost. And what's terrible is that they played for so tough to recover from. But with this at 4 matches, they get themselves some good finishes in the last 3 matches. They get themselves some points and not be a complete waste.
10 HP.
And I think we're gonna see there's a lot of room in this circle to kind of rotate in and find yourself a spot, especially north of the river. I know that in zones like this, a lot of teams don't like to go north of the river because they know they're gonna have to get down eventually. If they think it's gonna go south, and it can be so difficult to cross that. But I mean, look at if I was a team, I'd probably just go up to shooting range. If I'm trying to get points, go up to shooting range, and then shooting range to airplane, the airplane area. I don't know. That's what I call it airplane. Yeah, that's how I would rotate. If I saw this circle. But with that said, I mean, there's still all Pachiki. Even if you can get 2 teams in Pachiki. You get 2 teams in Rostock, 2 teams in school and apartments. There's plenty of space for teams to get into this circle and safely without having too much damage.
Zvex gets knocked by Men of 4 trying to drive into Watertown towards OUTcast Alpha, at least the remaining members of them. Out in the middle of the field, there is no hope from down he goes. BBC gets the thirst.
We see it. That's the second time we see it. First with Misfire, now with those less standings.
Look at the zone shift.
Early rotations is so difficult.
Look at this zone.
Oh my goodness. OUTcast Alpha was affected by it. Oh my goodness, I guess we should have stayed north of the river.
I mean, right now, this little
like
center island's looking, it kind of does, right? It does. The way it's, I always like these kind of zones where there's little islands kind of left in there. It's always hard for teams to decide where they want to go. Obviously, you don't want to be forced to swim in the water. I already see a couple of teams already trying to camp the bridge right here. We got some bridge campers. And definitely should see some bridge action.
Oh, you're definitely gonna see some bridge campers.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
And, but that would seem though, just somehow.
Oh, we have hacks running. Oh, Prod from 10 HP,
wow.
scouting ahead, gets knocked thirsted by Team Hacks inside this little kind of crater area. That's actually a nice little spot they got there. The rest of 10 HP now forced to go towards the outskirts, but they do have Anti-Sweat here, who's been chilling here, might I add, with flare guns that you can get from flares. That's what I want to say. I'm like, who's scared of a flare gun, right? Luckily for Bliss, that little crash into that tree did not cost him. That could have been really bad. Very fortunate that Team Anti-Sweat was not watching down there. And right now, Men of 4 Bravo kind of going in between a lot of teams. I do see 187 Black inside of Watertown as well. That's definitely a dangerous team to be taking Watertown alongside OUTcast Esports. But Men of 4 right now, just getting tagged. That's the one thing about taking a position on this hill. If you take positions on these hills, you're gonna be shot from various different angles. Men of 4 feeling that right now.
I think it's too early. I think it's a good place if it's a later circle and no one can be behind you. But
yeah,
like,
right now there's
these
several
areas are
teams
very
behind.
hard when you have to have a 360 rotation. And just whole map, we're starting out with Outcast Alpha into Misfire, into 10 HP. See, but this is just a lot of people getting shot out of rotations, trying to make rotations, either whether it's their scouts or whatever,
Down goes Men of 4.
getting knocked. A lot of the players getting knocked in rotation.
And we do have some action going down from JJTC and Team Genesis. Just on the outside of the zone. I also do see Zero Excel trying to get in zone. Let's see if Fish can kind of... No, right now he has his full attention on Team Genesis.
I'm gonna give you a trivia question. You're not gonna know, but on that Jinjin Finchin is SA Loco.
Oh.
I'll tell you later though. Why is SA Loco important in regards to RANDOMX's scrims?
There you go.
What's actually slows down? I'll give you the answer.
What's the what?
SA Loco did something in RANDOMX's scrims that was pretty important, or it was pretty eventful, at least for us.
What do you do? Like normally it's like killing.
What happened is the SA Loco. We signed up for it was play-ins into one of your seasons, and SA just joined. And he had fragged out. We keep in like second place, and he had like 10 kills, but he wasn't on the roster. So, and then you sent me this DM, and we didn't really know each other then. And you're like, "Hey, bro, I gotta let you know that you didn't have SA Loco on your roster, and so therefore your points are voided."
Yeah,
and
that was back then when I was doing that before.
And I was like, and I was very like apologetic. I manned up to it. I fessed up. I didn't give you any attitude. Point being is that a week later, when a team dropped out. Random, we said, "Hey, I remember how well you took that last time. You could have been a dick about it. You weren't. So, hey, we got an open spot. You guys want to take it?" And that is how the world works, folks. Is that if you're respectful to people and you treat them well, even when you make a mistake, they remember that. And when opportunities come up, they remember that and they reach out to you. So
exactly.
And that was like really when I was like, "Oh, this is random, guys. He's
respect was earned at that moment.
Yeah, this guy's a straight up guy."
And speaking of SA Local, is he trying to currently avoid? Wait. Let's take a look at the zone. Wow. So right now, this river is definitely going to play a huge factor into this. Obviously, the northern part of this zone, a lot more spacious and land, but this zone can still shift wildly down to the south. If that happens, that's going to definitely make teams move. But as Pickford said, we're down to the 4th zone. We've lost. Let's see how many teams have we lost. 1, 2, 3. We've lost 14. Is it 5?
4 teams.
I think it's 4 teams. 4 teams thus far.
22 minutes in.
And we're about to see this. The zone did just shift all the way to the west, so that's going to force all these teams that are to the east of it all the way in. And there's not a whole lot of space because this river right now cutting almost directly through the main part of this area right here. So. Down goes Fish. Let's go. I was trying to figure out what the hell the action was. Dabs now.
And we still have to lose 3 more whole teams before we can even get to 2 placement points.
He's not going to be able to. Unfortunately. Where is Fish? I don't see him on the map. I don't see him right here.
He is. Where is he?
I thought he was going for the revive, but he's not even.
He's dead. Looks like
he
he's
just
dead. Dabs
died.
and SA.
Okay, he just died. The Wu now getting into the action.
You see a lot of these, like, I wouldn't say second tier, the teams that we didn't talk a lot about are kind of trying to use that, like, northeast route into them. You know, you have T23 top strikers, Jinjin. He try to kind of come in from that, and Genesis try to come in from the northeast, all of them at the same time. So we'll have to see. And now that with Dabs and SA and that Team 23, not only going to be fighting each other, now they're fighting that
Frankie,
fourth
the
level
only
blue.
one up for Team Last One Standing against Hacks. Gets the knock on Sway. Now it is a 1v1 Peachy versus Frankie. I don't think Frankie's going to go for it. Well, I don't know. Frankie doesn't know what he wants to do. Although stalling like that is definitely allowing Peachy. There you go. Peachy did a bunch of damage. One more shot. And down goes Team Los. Look at that. Hacks. All knocked. Going to be about to be revived at the very edge of the zone. Hopefully BBC over there, the only one left for Mena 4, doesn't decide to take shots over there. Look at the edge of the zone towards the north. And look at the zone shift all the way to the west now. I mean, to the east. And still that
all
river
those
going to be
teams,
a factor.
all those teams down there on like 10 HP, Hacks, Mena 4, they have quite the route to get out of into that zone.
Mena 4 Bravo versus 187. 187 Blacks, only 2 kills right now. I've already lost Clown, so unfortunate for Clown. Not going to be able to add any more kills to his top 2 spot, at least for this round. Blaze has been knocked right now. Ginger outside the zone, potentially could be knocked right here. Down he goes, was not boosted, did not have no boosters at all. So Pro DJ now the only one left, kind of busy. He's busy looting while his team is busy dying. Brownie, unfortunately, forced to swim in the water. This zone's going to do major damage. I don't think Brownie's going to be able to make it. Let's see. We'll see if he I'm pretty sure Brownie's just in the background. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. He might make it.
No one sees me. Nobody can see me.
He got in. He got in. Unfortunately, though, he has to resurface for a little bit of air. This zone, wow, this zone moving like this was just so bad for these teams. Although it does provide excellent content. As
and now this is that fifth
down
goes. We're gonna lose a lot of teams.
Ghost Melee Elite has been taken out. This zone is just not good for a lot of these teams. Right now, SL Loco providing a little bit of a pain to Team 18, who's nicely centered in the zone.
Problem with where Jinjin is that they have another team right to their right, and they have no cover, so they can put a lot of rounds on top strikers. But the problem is that if Team 8 is shooting them from the right hand too, so all they have is that one tree to kind of keep them safe. They can't really engage with top strikers and really deal with them because of the true esports to their right.
In fact, Jason should have sights right now on SL Loco. Does have sights on him. Let's get the knock on him down. No, the tree saves him, but here comes the zone. I don't know if SL Loco's gonna be able to pull off the health before the zone touches him. Because if this zone touches him once, and he just gets it.
He had the full med kit.
Unfortunately, only let him survive for 5 seconds longer as he gets knocked by True Esports. Dab's now the only one left.
Now, I know that
look at the zone.
Obviously, I say Dabs,
wow.
they love to play 2-man squads. That's like their thing. They like to play with each other and play 2-man squads. So this is what they kind of do on a routine basis. Obviously, down at this level when it comes to scrims, but Dabs, as both these guys can really frag out if it comes.
Yes, this zone has been horrible for these teams. I just witnessed about 3 teams die to the zone right now.
And that's
Here comes the Wu, of course, full team.
We went from about 16 teams to about 6 teams in that one zone. That 15 and that fifth zone. The fifth zone is so deadly. I
think this one was a little bit more dramatic just because of how the zone was with this river cutting right through it. I bet you these people were wishing they had the kind of vehicles from Halo where you can just drive them through the water. The little the Roni with the little barrels on the side of it. Zeus right now has to be terrified if he knew this was an entire squad of the Wu right here. Trick just like a hungry shark trying to get some extra kills added to his current first place lead.
Now this is where Trick is so deadly. This open field, plenty of space, plenty of angles.
Zeus just being quiet right now, not wanting to shoot.
Really steps up.
Pickford, your audio is like
a lot of kills.
Like laggy.
Let's see if he keeps that tradition up. Did you get a little crappy? Let me see if I can fix that.
See if you can.
Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds good so far. Yes, thank you. It was starting like a robot. The Pickford bot. There you go.
The Pickford bot.
Unfortunately, down goes Zeus.
And now they're going off.
Down goes U-turn. Jonica very nearly knocked by the frantic sprain from Turtle as Chibi from BD, I believe this is BDE Elites, right? Yes, BDE Elites.
And Jason with that ghillie suit and that 249, just trying to get an angle on Wu, so he can just release that 100 rounds right on them, nonstop. I mean, slow crunk so slowly, just to try to get over there, to get an angle on that Wu team.
Yeah, Art definitely knows there's somebody over there. He was tossing nades, got a little bit of damage on Killer. There goes the smoke. Down goes Jonica. Knocked. And the zone forced these teams to come in just slightly. I don't think there's any cover for Team 14. The only cover is this tree, and unfortunately this tree is not in zone. Not to move just slightly ahead. I would make a wall of smokes potentially. No, this rock's not even in zone F. GG's. Down goes Jason getting knocked.
Now, I mean, BDE, they need to, like, they have a little bit of a hill. They need to smoke all up in front of them to kind of close that distance. Chibi just pushing all by themselves.
Exchanging some nades. Unfortunately, down goes Chibi to the zone. Nobody's just trying to run people over right now. He figured he'd give it a shot.
Turtle, I mean, if Turtle can
imagine the nade right now from Turtle. A very well placed nade by Turtle.
Oh, that would be dangerous. Oh, it blew up the vehicle. Almost a grenade, but no. Goes back and he loses his. He must be low on utilities.
And down
that
it goes.
Is it. The Wu coming out strong in the first match. So a great first
10
match
kills
of
for
Wu
the Wu.
with 10 kills. And Trick had about 3 kills going into that last circle. Ends up with 7.
7 kills just by himself.
Elite, 3 in second place. True Esports in third place with 8 points. Top strikers playing very, very well. Our favorite team from South America coming in with 6-8 points in 4th place. The anti-sweat team place with no kills. So probably false chin coming in 7th place with 3 kills. So I know that we have a sponsors commercial from our sponsors at HyperX.
Yes.
As soon as that is over, we'll be back here and we'll be able to talk to FP from Mena4 as soon as we hear from our sponsors HyperX.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just post the scores real quick so that way
Yes, sir.
they can get to work with those, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I will be showing that commercial. All right, here come the commercials, guys. right, those are some awesome products. Of course, the sponsors of this tournament, thus the HyperX Scrim Season 1. And let me go ahead and get back. I'm already back in the VC. I do see FP in here with us. And
Yes, so we are more than happy to bring in FP from Men of Four. How are you doing this evening, FP?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
what's up, man?
So obviously, Men of Four, a team that has been in these scrims for is pretty much day one and has been successful doing. But it's a if you watch these scrims, you see Men of Four grow and improve week after week, month after month. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say that when we first saw Men of Four, it was kind of BBC was the main player and everybody else's support. Now Real Deal has stepped it up incredibly. BBC is still playing really great. You guys and FP doing very, very well. It's put you guys right now in seventh place overall, but well within shooting distance of the top five. So I guess my first question is, how are you guys able to maintain the quality and to continuously improve over the past 2 3 months?
Yeah, I think it comes down to our guys, like Real Deal stepping up, God stepping up, having Greedy back in our team, in our lineup. So just having our guys back really helped us a lot. But in terms of this season, we've been kind of like stuck in the seventh spot for like quite a while now. So we're looking forward to this last 2 weeks. Just go for a nice push and hopefully get into top five.
Now, one thing you guys do is you guys kind of have that five-person rotation that a lot of the teams are now kind of getting into, where instead of having to say like four starters and maybe a sub that comes in when somebody can't play, is you guys are really rotating Greedy, God, yourself, Real Deal, and BBC throughout almost all the matches. One is, how do you guys decide who plays what, and do you guys think that having kind of a five-man rotation is a better gameplay than just having a four-man team?
I'd
Did you
say,
did you hear
yeah,
that, FP?
yeah, you're cutting out a little bit, but
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
yeah, it's
like it a
cool.
little.
I'd say that I don't like Greedy. He loves to play Miramar a lot, so we like to get Greedy in Miramar and Sanok a lot. God, he helps me out a lot for like when it comes to IGLing a lot for like Erangel. So we like to have God in for like the first match, and he's also good in Miramar also. But when it comes to Greedy, like he's a good player, so we like to have him in Miramar. Not a lot of compounds in Miramar, a lot of sniping, and he's probably hands down one of our best snipers. So for sure, we like to have Greedy in. Sanok Greedy's also straight fragger, so we need that close combat from him too. So, and as a team, we know like which players like to play which map, and we know there's no hard feelings with us. We know that whatever team that we put out is for the best for our team.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good point. Is being able to have everybody kind of know what their role is, and sometimes they might not play all of the matches, but they're just as important to the overall success of the team.
Yeah, exactly. And we know that whatever team that like, because I make the teams, and like God even told me last Wednesday, he's like, listen, if whatever the best lineup is for our team, let's stick with that and let's just roll with it. Because after all, we're a team and we want the best outcome for us.
Hmm. And you had said earlier that you guys had kind of been entrenched in a seventh place spot for quite a while. Kind of like you guys are kind of like the leaders of that kind of group that goes from a seven to like down to 11. And so, what do you what is your gameplay? What do you have to do, adapt, improve on whatever to kind of make that next jump up into obviously that top five where everybody wants to get into, where the prizes come in.
Yeah, for sure. For us, I think we just had like a really slow start, just adapting because I remember before in the Scream season, it was like 70, 75, 80 player lobbies, right? And now it's
Hmm.
like 94, 95. So it took us quite a while to just kind of adapt to it. But I think for us, it's a matter of having like all games being consistent and getting like a decent amount of points. Like last Wednesday, game one, we only had 1 point, right? And like that's
Hmm.
unacceptable. There's no way you can compete by having 1 point in any of your games. And we still managed to have 53 points at the end of the scrim, but it shouldn't come down to like the last game where you have to get like 20, 25, 30 points for us. So I think
That's a very smart. That's a very good point.
yeah.
That
So like
that
we did
16th to 24th is it's such a
yeah,
setback.
it's exactly. And I think we did pretty decent for the first game. We got about 16 points this game. But going into Miramar, I think our guys know that Miramar is probably our toughest map. But so we're gonna switch it up today a little bit. We usually land like southwest, but I think we're gonna switch it up today. Hopefully on our
Oh, all right.
rotations. So
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Hopefully
Also,
we
a
do
little
better.
warning: the maps, trying to get an FPP room. It takes a little finesse, and unfortunately, did not want to work for Brownie. So normally we'd run at Miramar in FPP, but it will be TPP. So I don't know how much. That's
Yeah, a
gonna
lot of
change the game
troubles
plan, but
with since
yeah, since the
the
update.
but one thing that you said before about how the adaptation from the before the scrim season started to now was kind of a big thing, and that's one thing that the Forgotten said too. Another team that's been here for a while is that they kind of went in there with a mindset of how the scrim season was pre the season starting when we were just doing scrims, and when it started, it was a lot sweatier, a lot harder, bigger lobbies, better teams. And it took them also a little bit of time to kind of adapt and realize that it was a kind of a different scrim, excuse me, than it was in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Teams are they're getting better and better. So
And
we
so
just
one
gotta
last question, I'll let you get in there, is that
yeah for sure.
obviously a lot of teams have two teams. Misfire has Misfire then JJTC. You guys one of the few guys that have like an English speaking team and a Spanish speaking team. How did Metaphor Bravo come around and how and how they all it's obviously all Spanish speaking team because I wanted to interview them, but FP was like it's gonna be kind of hard because they don't know speak English. But just how did that team come together for you guys?
They're all BBC's and Real Deal's friend. They were all friends. Like I knew them before too, but they were in a different clan. But they were better friends with like Real Deal and BBC. So they thought BBC was the leader of the team. So they asked BBC if they can join, and I knew them before too. So I was like, yeah, for sure. And Dark J kind of asked, and Dark J knows Sinister and Elma. They're all close friends, so they all joined at the same time. And I'm like, you know what, you guys are good friends. You guys have chemistry with each other. So you know what, we can just make another MO4 team. And we recently added Ruthless on the team, and also Kano. Kano's been a long time friend of mine, so we're lucky enough to have him on our Spanish speaking team too.
Well, I mean, you guys are just like it seems like a lot of the teams in this season, these teams either have kind of self-destructed. Like if you remember Drop, that team used to be in here every week. They kind of fell apart and stuff. Other teams kind of maybe fall off, and then other teams kind of grow from this experience. Misfire started a new team. You guys obviously have a second team. A lot of teams are expanding, so it looks like you guys are reaping some of the benefits of getting your name out there, and in regards to your popularity and getting more players in that want to be part of that Meta 4 team.
Yeah, exactly. I've already gotten like a lot of players trying to ask me if we're recruiting or anything, but at this time, unfortunately, we're not. I think we're just good with the team that we have right now.
And I tell you what, if the players that I'm going to refer back to before I let you go is that if you remember, if you go back just 4 or 5 months, I mean, this Metaphor team, these guys have all just grown so. Every single player, it's not like one guy just like all of a sudden got good or whatever. Every one of these guys have gotten so much better in the past few months. Get that synergy down, learn how to play with each other. So if you're one of those teams out there and you're like, oh man, we're bad or we're not doing as good as we want, it takes time. It takes months. It took these
Takes
guys a
time.
few months, but now these guys are hitting on all cylinders. I mean, Real Deals has been killing it. He's
He's been
on
killing
13th
it.
place. He's 13th place on the frag list. BBC is 23rd. I mean, Real Deal has come out of nowhere in the past few weeks and killing it. You guys are all just really, really stepped it up and really, really improved a lot. So, congratulations on this season. Hopefully, you guys make that top 5, and we'll be cheering you on for the rest of the season. Hope you guys do nothing but success.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for
Good
having
luck,
me.
man. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
And I mean, a lot of these teams, Ram, that have been here like since the beginning. I'm talking like the Forgotten,
Yeah.
obviously Misfire, the Woo, 10 HP. These are kind of teams that like I kind of top strikers. Like you kind of get to know them a little bit. You interview them a lot. You get to know them, and the quality improvement of this team. And this team was really kind of just like BBC and 3 dudes. And they've all just, I don't know if it was, just the practice, but they've all got so much better. They're pretty much, I would say, you have 3 or 4 teams that are like at the very, very best. the Outcast Alphas, the 187s, teams like that. Maybe you can say Hacks, Dream Killers, but then you have the next step down, which is the majority of the teams, the Misfires, the 10 HP, Top Strikers, Forgotten, and I think Men of Four have kind of established themselves as maybe one of the best. Them in Tree Esports is like that best team in that second group down, because you kind of separated into kind of three groups in regards to as the season has gone around. But those guys could definitely. But one thing I think that kind of separates that first tier from the second tier, and he said it, is that it happens to Misfire today, it happens to the Forgotten, is call it the crap sandwich. You'll have two good matches, two top 5 finishes, and then you'll have a 19th place finish. You get 1 point. And it really just totally screws up your whole night, where the top teams, 187s, those teams, they might not win, but they're going to have 5th place, 4th place, 5th place, with a bunch of kills, and never have a bad match.
Yeah, getting 4th place with a bunch of kills is almost like getting 1st place with none.
Exactly.
Really, if you think about it.
It's just not getting that 1 point that that 16th to 25th place is just such a momentum killer, because it's just 1 point. It's just you work so hard. You spend 20-25 minutes fighting it out to get 1 placement point. Is not only is it mathematically frustrating, I think it's just mentally frustrating that you worked that hard to only get 1 point.
Ooh, nice. They added some little subscription animations there. Chaz3X, thank you for subscribing to the OUTcast channel. Much love. Now you get commercials. Nice.
and your boy came in on Monday, and Duke told him that he was full of it.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Boy,
I remember.
2020 GGs.
Yeah.
They obviously.
I forgot about that guy.
And then Peachy came in and said and Peachy wanted to know if they can replace
Pickford, your audio is
with somebody else. So
it's
Peachy from
laggy.
Hacks. So I've said it. Let me reset it. I'll come back.
Okay. Oh, look at another. If Pickford was here, he would tell you this is another very nice flight path. This is almost directly down center of this center line, going all the way down. This should be almost. You should be able to almost float anywhere, really, except for these far west and eastern areas. But for the most part, very nice flight path. And if for some reason it's not following anyone, and it's kind of quiet and it's kind of eerie, yeah, a little awkward there. But yeah, so let's see. See, the thing is, what happens is, it forced me to someone. Okay, if I switch from someone that's in the air to the ground, what happens is I get that stupid audio.
There we go. I think I fixed it. I think my Wi-Fi was a little lacking because of the weather, so I gave myself a little Wi-Fi boost. And does that sound better?
Yeah, that sounds better. You know what? Before you left, I was gonna say I noticed Vulcan is back.
Yeah, I guess because date didn't go too well.
I didn't want to make it a point, but he is back.
He's back at what time? 11. What time is it? Back at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. So. Well, he's probably gonna tell me, I gotta go. I got some scrims I gotta play.
Scrims are more important. That's some dedication right there. All right, so team.
Oh, this is good.
But as I was telling people is, as you were temporarily disconnected, this flight path. I don't know if you noticed it. It was pretty much straight down center, north to south. And look at the zone shift all the way down to the south. Okay, so a lot of these teams decided to kind of stay towards the northern end of the zone. They're gonna have to start traveling down to the south. But right now, definitely El Zahar. We got Campo Militar. Looks like Team 14 is gonna take over there. La Cobreria. Normally we have. Oh wow, we have every single Outcast team inside of La Cobreria.
Wow.
And
with this map, it looks like it's huge, but there's a finite amount of rotation routes into the zone. So we'll have to see if we saw it a lot in that Erangel match, where a lot of teams rotating into the zone were shot out of their cars. Outcast Alpha, Misfire, 10 HP. A lot of guys losing players early.
And that's with stable grounds.
Some of that, Yeah,
Not
that's
hitting
what's
those
different. So this
invisible rocks that blow you up and send you
exactly,
10,000 meters in the
exactly.
air. Very infamous in Miramar to get your vehicle stuck. That's why Pickford's saying there's only so many different routes. I mean, you can hit through the countryside, but you're not going to be definitely going full speed. I mean, you can get stuck going at 5 miles an hour on Miramar. Trust me, I've done it before. I know you guys all done it. Anyone that enjoys
sometimes
driving
you
in
get stuck when
Miramar,
you
there's
go
something
slower.
wrong. Yeah, you too. Oh no, down goes
Poor
Jinjin.
Jinjin.
So
And
now he's
wasted
back.
by Lovely from the embassy.
So now he's back
he got-
with JJTC, which is fine because you know that it is named after him. So it's just
Well, it's named
landing
after
inside
his
San
ship.
Martin. And the rest of the team right here next to Los, that's definitely not
Yeah,
something
that's-
Fish and HG. Down goes Fish.
Yeah,
And
once you see someone on your team drafted down here, you know that once you guys knocked, they're all rushing. Fish and Ace are obviously not going to be in the best position to be successful with getting knocked from 2 different teams. But Dab's over there kind of by himself. Maybe he get an angle. If I was Dabs, I would just stay over there.
Down goes Ace GG. And Fish murdered.
I mean, with Floop and Frankie, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, this is like you're not going to see very many better players in this lab than these two. And if they're both pushing at the same time, good luck.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Dab's now the only survivor member, and Dabs already knows he got to just try to survive.
I tell you what, not Dabs. So I think he gets an itchy brain sometimes. And sometimes he just decides he's going to try to squad wipe. We call it his Dabs' itchy brain, where he just gets in his mind that he's going to go and do something crazy and clutch a 4v1 against Temple Storm or something, and he'll just try to squad wipe a team by himself. So we'll have to see what he
does.
What
the
he
situation
but he is. I guess Jinjin's probably talking to him in his ear in death chat. That, hey, bro, no, get out of here. We need you to get some more position.
Yeah, because this early in the round, I mean, I think we had even more people in this round than we did the last round, or at least every single team showed up.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of times a team will miss the first
teams.
match, and then they'll come in and they hit the second match. It's pretty late. It's 10 o'clock Eastern, so it's 7 o'clock your time.
It's 8 o'clock right now.
8 o'clock. I mean when it starts, so it's 7 o'clock when it kicks off on your time. So maybe I guess people getting home from work or whatever, finishing dinner because of the first match. But I mean it's because this game is such a it's obviously it's throughout our whole 4 time zones and stuff that it can be very difficult for scrims and stuff. Starting they start 10 p.m. on my side, but 7 p.m. on your side. So
yeah,
completely
people
different.
on the East Coast definitely have to stay up a lot longer and show dedication, especially on Fridays, because on Fridays we do 4 rounds.
Yeah. I always thought those when I was a kid growing up, I always wanted to live on the West Coast so I could watch football earlier.
Yeah. Floop very luckily I thought he was gonna get knocked from that nade, but the first explosion missed him. Down goes Floop. Didn't matter anyways. Dembasy getting an early thirst on Floop from team Last One Standing. That definitely got to put a little pep in their step. And down goes Frankie.
Wow.
Very nicely done.
Atomic Lucky doing damage.
It is now a 4v2. Let's see Dizzy. Dizzy about to be surrounded. He's about to get surrounded. He has the entire squad all around him right now.
Crispy,
gets one knock. Where is he?
If Crispy was there, he's kind of a ways away. I mean, Dizzy's doing work. I mean, Crispy needs to get there and back him up. He already got 2 knocks.
There you go.
There he goes.
There he goes.
Now, see. I mean,
and down goes Atomic Lucky.
Wow.
Lovey now the only one left.
And how the tides have turned so quickly in this squad match.
But they've already done the damage though. They've taken out at least. I mean, they took down Frankie and Luke.
And Floop, the big names of the team and stuff. and Dizzy and Crispy just
Although
doing work.
Dizzy definitely was putting in some work right now.
And now I'm sure Lovey and those guys were so hyped.
Unfortunately
Just
for
10
Lovey,
seconds.
yeah. Unfortunately for Lovey, the last one to die the last game and the last one to die this game.
Wow. I mean, if you just rewind that and say, okay, Atomic Lucky just took out Frankie and Floop, and Crispy and Dizzy are separated by 150 meters, while the embassy is all right together. You think it'd be an easy win for the embassy, but no. Dizzy gets to go in there and clutch it and
definitely
just
that
run
knock
through everybody. Wow, good job for those guys.
And we are starting to see some teams rotate into the new zone. Anti-Sweat taking, I don't know, maybe they just went to go loot at Los Eagles or potentially prison area, but I don't. Most people don't go towards prison, but they are starting to travel to the zone. Potentially might see misfire. Yeah, here comes Zozu going right towards Mommy iOS. But Mommy iOS currently right now by himself right here.
Is this if he hears him, you should wait for the rest of the team to show up. Don't overexpose.
Mommy iOS takes off. He just took off just in time as the entire Misfire crew joins in. Now, unfortunately for Misfire, they're kind of stuck right here. And unfortunately for them, they do have Ghost Melee Elite that can come in from behind them on that small little hill. Zone is still barely coming in. We have lost only one team thus far. That is Dembasy.
Wow, 10 minutes in, only losing one team so far.
Let's go check out what Dabs is doing real quick.
Dabs. The Adventures of Dabs.
The Adventures of Dabs. And I see what Dabs is doing, and I like it. That's a good, nice little spot. He should get well enough warning of people coming up here. Although I will say this spot is a decent spot in zone. A lot of people like to take this area right here. And he does have 187 just to the south of him, so he has to be very careful there. Let's go check out to see if there's anything else going on. No, teams are starting to move in already. You know what? Let's go check out Hacks because they are... No, wait. Let's go check out Team 10, Genesis, as they drive past. I believe that is... who is that? Team 13, 10 HP. Are they going to be able to make it past 10 HP? Kind of driving towards Dabs right now. If they keep going down this route, they might run in to 187. That's not gonna be.
No, they see there's a flare to their left. I don't know who shot that.
Oh yeah, I do see that flare. Let's see, where is that at in zone? Oh, 187 was getting a flare. They already got some flare ammo, but yeah, that's a different one. That is potentially...
It looks like that Genesis, they left one of their players in Men of 4. It's going to drive right past them. Nayli's in like a shack and literally... They stop.
Look at Dabs.
Cano, looks like Cano stopped right next to him. Dark J. The Hombres de Cuatro of the Men of 4 Spanish team stopping right there. Maybe hearing something, maybe some they heard some footsteps or something happened. It looks like they're going to kind of like
up. Chemo spotted. I guess must have spotted him up there. Dabs very nearly.
Dabs got someone right on top of him. If you have from the Genesis, Chemo YouTube, Ed Titan Jin. Trying to kind of get that spot.
Yeah, they wanted this spot for themselves. That's very lucky. He was like at one point about 10% health with that nade toss. Very nearly killed him right there. The zone's about to close. We'll soon see. I'm kind of hoping it keeps on pushing south. Doubt it though. We'll see. Nope. And pretty much almost all the water is gone from the zone. Decent little zone. Los Leones potentially might end up in the center right now. If Dabs could stay alive and guard his little spot up here, he could potentially survive towards the end because it's really hard to kill people from here. Although, like I said, 187's just to the south of them with flare guns. So
well, I know for Misfire, even though like the Jinjin Stinchin team obviously came in way too late to really do any damage in the points. This is really what we're coming up with. Who's gonna be? We're gonna put in two teams in the next season, and this is really where we figure out who's gonna make it in, who's not gonna make it in, from Misfire for these two teams.
All right, so Jay White just had one of those infamous moments of where your buggy hits an invisible rock and then it does a ton
It
of
blows
damage and
up.
knocks you up. His buggy's almost blown up. C-Dub forced
And
to come grab him.
look at the Team 4. I love it.
Let's go check
Up
out
in El
Team 4.
Pozo. Just like we're gonna be in the blue. We just accept it. We're gonna get suntan, and we're just gonna enjoy ourselves here.
Second zone, not too harsh. And look at that.
I think
Dabs
when
now
teammate
has
is unapologetic in it.
has hacks next to him now. Unfortunately,
No,
Dabs has all the top fraggers next to him. Poor guy. Run! Oh, and he gets hit with that nade. Unfortunately for Dabs, they will also want that spot too. They're wanting this area.
Well, one strat is that if you're by yourself, it's sometimes not the best to take the best strategic location on the map by yourself. But he's holding it down so far with his hula skirt on.
Oh, that nade would have been better time. Instant kill right there. Satan's about to have shots on him right now if he's not careful.
Now he only has what, 2 drinks, 1 first date.
He was
There was
hoping to
some
survive
advantages.
towards the end. Unfortunately, took one of like Pickford said, one of the more strategic spots. Now I don't know if they can
go into
actually
some
get
F
up there.
boy, some broke down F boy shack or something that nobody
Yeah.
wants. Oh!
Oh, and he gets two
Oh!
knocks.
These are 2 guys of hacks.
Satan's
them
knocked
both.
Satan and Lucifer.
And
Very
then thirsted
nicely.
them both.
Wait, Dabs, you should have got their stuff. Now he has extra loot. He surprised the crap out of him. Very nicely done. About to have some decent loot. And now Sway and Peachy are unfortunately be a little bit more difficult for them to be able to push up there towards Dabs, especially after seeing what just happened to their teammates.
And now he's just adding insult to injury. But I tell you, Dabs, guy who plays doesn't use any comms because he lives out in the boonies of North Carolina. So yes, he uses like cellular data, no Wi-Fi. So when he uses any comms, it causes the lag. But boy, that kid can frag. He's been in Misfire longer than anybody except for me.
There you go. And he just shut it right now.
When he gets into it, he can frag out like a king, which is obviously taking out 2 guys at hacks. And it looks like Sway Peachy might just find themselves in some trouble.
Let's go. In fact, let's go back to Dabs.
Oh,
right when I go
ends up
back,
getting some-
down goes Dabs. Although he did take out 2 members and he survived slightly longer. Unfortunately, though,
Well,
going down
the
22nd
adventures of
place.
Dabs are over for this match.
The adventures. It was a short-lived adventure. I was hoping to see it towards the end. Unfortunately, like Pickford said, he took one of the more strategic positions. Not only centered, but also this hill right here is definitely highly sought after. Let's see if Hacks can now keep it. Another flare called now. This one is by Team the Forgotten. Calling in a flare towards the...
If you're with Los Leones being center, some teams are choosing to go outside of Los Leones, try to get a compound outside. Someone choosing to get into Los Leones. If you're in here, are you going to go into Los Leones and get a compound there, or are you going to take one outside and hopefully get a good circle, have a hard push circle?
Where would you're asking me where would I be at right now?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not Los Leones. I hate big cities. Too many different angles to cover. I wouldn't. I mean, that the spot that Hacks has is very nice, but definitely wouldn't want to take it because it's centered. To be honest, my full honesty, camping style, I'd be over there just a little north west of Puerto Payaso where no one's at right now.
I mean, what I would say is that's smart because if you get a hard shift and you get the circle, I mean, you could do and you get a couple circles, but you can really be successful.
Let's see
if
it's
a lot of that luck.
My gut's telling me this zone's gonna shift towards the southeast. That's why I would have probably picked that. We have some action going down between OUTcast Charlie and Misfire.
They tried to roll into Misfire's compound, and the first vehicle got absolutely torqued.
Yeah, Lust knocked. Unfortunately, Bong Main already been thirsted. Not sure if it was by Misfire or not that got the... They were driving by, and they shot him out of the vehicle. Bogley was shot right after Lust is hiding behind it, trying to stay alive. But I don't know if
Spaz looks like Spaz and is like, I'm out. We only have 3 players, so I'm not coming back.
Oh, I was completely wrong, and right now I would be saying the F word a bunch of times probably, because that would be a huge shift from where I wanted to be to where currently the zone's gonna end. Right now the Woo's been just kind of just chilling.
Chillax. And that's what
Yeah.
the Woo kind of like, okay, I know that the Woo is not a big fan of Miramar. Their favorite map is Sandhawk. Pretty much the
Coming up
maps that you can
next.
frag out more
Yeah.
in that close combat is what they like more. So in interviews in the past with Trick, he's kind of said they just kind of play Miramar just to not play poorly, not lose points, and then choose the other maps where they can really frag out, but especially Sandhawk, which they consider to be their best map.
We have some action between Anti-Sweat and I believe this is Metaphor. Unfortunately, Metaphor, after talking with FP, it's only FP and Greedy in this round right now, so they're just rocking a duo. That kind of sucks for them. A lot of activity up to the northeast and the southeast. The west completely empty right now, and in fact, inside the center of Los Leones, there is nobody inside right now. Inside center. 187 taking the south end of Los Leones.
I'm surprised nobody really tried to get more center into Los Leones.
Yeah, so see, if I was at Puerto Payaso, like I want, a little north of Puerto Payaso, kind of where Team 14's at right now, if I would have been them, I probably would have rotated all the way around. See, I would have probably got screwed because I would have rotated all the way and came up from the south and tried to go in directly to El Pozo.
Where like Team 9 is?
Yeah, and I would have been blown up by all those teams. There's a lot of teams packed in right now. So any teams right now right now, Misfires, they're actually lucky. They're the only ones currently on this west end of the map. They can just chill for there. Maybe they'll get lucky and they'll get a good shift towards them. Right now, we have some action going down with Dream Killers. Sarge has been knocked. Angel knocked as well. VS44 now the only one left for Team 20. A little bit of 1v1, well, team versus team here. 3 different teams. And down goes
Forgotten
Team 20.
trying to come down. Yeah, the Forgotten trying to push down from the top on him. On Junie.
And here comes Team Forgotten. And down goes Junie. So that just leaves Marshy and Mommy iOS now by themselves. And they do, by the way, they do have 187 next to them as well. At this point, I don't think Mommy iOS can save. No, down goes Junie. Maybe a little bit of revenge. Sway gets the knock on Greedy. And I mean, the blew up a vehicle, I believe. So FP now by himself. Looking towards the south right here, we got True Esports, OUTcast, Bravo, and Anti-Sweat. Ligma, the only one right here. Don't know where the rest of his teammates at. Ah, they're over there by the north.
And
down goes Mommy iOS.
Since Dream Killers was so spread out, we kind of just all pushed against Mommy and we were able to knock him where Marshy's right down there in that compound. So I don't know if the Forgotten know that he's down, know that Marshy's down there. But it'd be a good time to get your vehicles to kind of push 4v1 and to finish off Dream Killers. You said we're almost 22 minutes in. We still have 20 teams left.
All right, so yeah, this zone has now completely
pushed right. This is where I think
right
you gotta
into
push
Los
in.
Angeles.
Usually when a zone, this zone goes into a full city, people will push in earlier. So I think you gotta get in there as quickly as possible, set yourself up, not be a late rotator, because a lot of the best buildings are gonna get taken up I think in Los Leones. But it looks like we might be having like a heal off at this rate if it stays where it's at right now.
Yeah, more than likely we probably will see at least somewhat of a heal off. It's kind of typical when these zones don't end in the middle of nothing. If there's a lot of buildings in the final zone, there definitely someone will try
to see if any of the teams can kind of realize that when it gets to the last zones and try to give one person all their health,
and then the other ones go hunting. It's the best way you can do it. Give the guy that can do the best heal off. See, guys, this is what my customs prepare you for is a heal off. Okay.
Oh yeah. Once all the vehicles can't drive anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like Oz will come in and just like punch me when I'm like one punch and just to win.
Yeah, that's a strat right there. It looks like a little bit of lag with Zeus. I'm not sure if it was Zeus or the person he was shooting, but it definitely looked like he was shooting directly at him, but no damage done. That kind of sucks when you have severe desync like that.
Looks like Mr. is gonna run right into True.
Zozu up ahead. Oh, go Zozu! Luckily, down goes. Look at that, he's driving with just 1 tire. Gets the knock on Deimos. Very nicely done. Resso just happened to be knocked at the exact same moment. I'm not even sure who was that got the knock. Might have been Marshy. But Zozu kind of forced to lay in the middle of the ground. Artemis. He has Fredo from Anti-Sweat directly in front of him. Where has
They're all spread out.
Yeah, they kind of had to, especially with the zone closing in. Unfortunately, Zozu and Artemis kind of sacrificed, and it's not gonna definitely be an easy path in towards the zone with 187 right there at the very edge. Fredo trying to get a knock on Crazy. Down goes Crazy, but Fredo's gonna get knocked to the zone right here. I think. Oh, he canceled. No, he canceled it. He might have pulled it off. Down he goes. Zozu, just a thirst. He needs to try to get in. Artemis at this point, I think they just kind of decided that it's going to be really hard for them to rotate in. So they're going to make this a little bit easier for the rest of the team. And there you go. He just prevented Team 9 from being able to push in there. Vulcan unfortunately knocks Zozu. Actually, the guys outside the zone, see, they've actually survived longer doing what they had to do right now. Because I really did think coming in from the south end like that was going to be very dangerous because there was just so many teams down there. Zozu
by himself trying to get this any loot he can get off these bodies killed. Trying to find some sort of vehicles.
It's gonna. I mean, he's right at
tough.
this point. He's just prolonging, trying to stay alive longer than anyone else. Get
it's
that
still
extra
way
placement.
early with 17 teams.
Yeah,
It's still that
that's the
1
bad
point
thing.
situation.
It's super early. It's the 5th zone though. This zone hurts so much. Does so much damage. You can only walk a few meters and then you have to stop and heal. And he only has 1 first aid left.
Yeah, 1 first aid, 1 full med kit.
Oh, that is very smart. Yes, use the med kit. Oh, this is a genius move right there. Let's see if he can get in there. The only bad thing is he's heading towards Marshy right now from Dream Killers. Down goes Dizzy. I think he just out-survived the team. He sees Marshy. He can get in. He can get in if Marshy doesn't mess with him. Unfortunately, he's not going to have a whole lot of time to relax. Pulls out the pan to sneak in there. There you go. Very nicely done, Zozu. Unfortunately, though,
he's got 10 seconds before
he doesn't have much time to relax as 187 rolls up on nobody from BDE Elites.
Oh,
down goes Ghost. Thirsted as well. Zone's shifting in. This zone's gonna hurt even more. Zozu's gonna about to go down because of Marshy. Oh, he's moving. He's moving. Take him out with you. Take him out. Ah, he just skipped forwards. What? Ah, no. No, if he would have just taken out Marshy, he would have at least got a little bit better placement. But he was trying to survive, trying to get in there. Fortunately, did have True Esports.
Again, Misfire having another little trouble with that rotation into that 5th zone. Like we've seen, now this is where it's going to get bad. 5th to 6th zone, we've seen it. This is the hardest 3 minutes. This is what we're talking to Cena about after this match is keeping your team alive in this hectic fifth to sixth zone. All these teams got to push in. Look at all the teams that are outside of the zone right now, random. All of them got to get in that zone.
The zone is gonna be the thing with the most KT today on this map. So many teams.
And we're gonna see it by the time we started out. There was 15 teams when the zone started. Now we're gonna be down to, we're already down to 13, and we still have a minute left before the zone closes. So we'll have to see when we get to sixth zone how many teams are left.
187 making their way towards the new zone. This new zone starting to. There's only so many buildings, especially with this building where Team 16 at. It's not really it has walls, but not going to consider necessarily entire building. Although where Dark J's at, that's a very nice spot. In fact, I want to say this is the most elevated spot in this entire sixth zone right now.
In the zone, yeah.
So this is, if he can manage to stay here, he can do some real damage from up here, especially since it's centered. More than likely, they can probably just chill there, or at least Dark J can chill there without having to really move. Team 17 taking shots, Hacks taking shots at Team Genesis as Sway and Peachy made their way in from down goes Sway, getting knocked. Exchanging knocks, luckily. Oh no, you're not gonna be able to revive. Go. I think Peachy realized at the moment. I cannot spectate Peachy. It will not let me spectate Peachy. It kept inverting the screen. Down goes Peachy. F.
And as it closes into the seventh zone, we have gone from 15 teams down to 9 teams. Just like we say that 2 to 3 minutes is so difficult to stay alive, going from the 5th to 6th zone.
Trick knocked. Trick with 0 kills this round thus far. Although there still is.
Well, as we did interview, and Jonica's job is pretty much to stay close.
Oh, what a nade coming in from Pro DJ from 187. Very nice nade. That landed right next to Jonica. Nothing Jonica could do.
And look at Ghost of the Elite and OUTcast Alpha in the same building, just chillaxing together, trying to stay alive.
right now with that very nice position. As I said, still.
Oh, and Dark J, both of them, nice up there high.
This is definitely one of the better. Although it's gonna be hard getting into zone, but luckily the stairs are still in zone for them. As long as they can stay up here, they can do some real damage to these teams. We have Ghost Melee Elite versus OUTcast Alpha, and down goes Ghost Melee Elite. C-Dub knocked, Jay White getting the revive. They have lost Brownie though, but that was actually earlier. Alma Mott getting the knock on Ghost. Like I said, this is a very bad spot for if you're not the team up here. Do a lot of damage, and unfortunately for top strikers heading in towards 187.
Okay,
down goes Jay White, and down goes team top strikers. Here comes the zone. This zone's gonna force OUTcast right towards 187. Gold knocked. C-Dub gets the knock on Pro J. Down goes C-Dub, finished off by Blaze inside the smoke. Pro DJ gets... Actually, look at that. Alma Mod stole that kill. Wow. Look at the luck for Dark J and Alma Mod. Perfectly centered in the new zone. Not perfectly centered, but in the zone. Still have the height advantage over all these other... Well, all the other teams. There's only 3 left.
And Goon Godzilla from top striker. It's just in that chillax mode, just try to stay alive. Already got themselves a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, this zone, the way it's gonna, the 8th zone, guys, if you're curious. Okay, so Alma Mont and also Clown, I believe they're currently in zone, so it's gonna end like right here in the center. So probably not going to be a heal off, especially with this position that Metaphor Bravo have, and they just took out the remaining
If
member
I was
of
if
the
I was
Forgotten.
Dark Chair, I'd have somebody go down those stairs now, try to get down there and get a lower position before the blue prevents you from getting down there.
Definitely start. This is when you start giving everyone your. Well, I don't know, because right now, as long as they don't get knocked, if they can prevent themselves from getting knocked and allowing 187 to get out of this building, this is the final zone.
I don't know
right here.
if Elma or Dark Chair have any type of utilities left, but I'd be raining down any grenades, any mods I have left, trying to get not trying to get a kill.
It's a nice little 2v2. This is definitely not going to end in a heal off. I don't think it is. You can't heal off when you're at the edge of the zones.
Because if 1-7 has to close in, it's gonna eliminate any angle they have to get to Metaphor Bravo. The closer they get, the angle's gonna become more and more difficult to shoot up there at that height.
They had some very interesting zones last game. Very fortunate for Metaphor, Dark Che, and Alma to decide to take this position.
Yes, it was very advantageous for them. Now you don't want to make a mistake with your jiggle peeking and stuff to fall off the top of that fifth story.
Yeah, and that's the very unfortunate thing, is that if they wanna serve, they can't survive the. I mean, they can survive the fall, but I mean, they're gonna take major damage from it. So down goes Dark J.
Well, I think they're gonna do some sort of push.
Oh, and there we go. 187 wins it. Clown gets the last kill.
To shoot him. Wow.
Yeah, they got the knock on Dark J, and Alma Mont got killed afterwards. Well, it happened something like that. 13 kills. Very nice. Clown getting a little closer to Trick with that one, especially since they went down.
The Metaphor Bravo with second place with 6 kills. The Forgotten in third place with 11 kills. OUTcast Alpha, 4th place, getting back up to the top 5 with 9 kills. Not only, although we haven't seen OUTcast Alpha scoring in the placements as much as we have seen, they have been really increasing their kills in the past few matches. Becoming a lot more aggressive, it seems. And then Genesis in 5th place with 2 kills. OUTcast Bravo, I think it's OUTcast Bravo with 2 kills in 6th place. And Top Strikers in 7th place with 3 kills. Ghostman Elite with 1 kill in 8th. The Woo with 2, but Trick with 0 kills in that match in 9th. And then rounding out the top 10 is Dream Killers with 2 kills. So 187 of old coming in there and really doing some damage, getting themselves 13 kills and a 1st place finish. So we'll have to see how that goes into the Sandhawk match. I know that we have to get some commercials out, and then we will have, as part of our Friday, we'll have C-Dub, the coach of OUTcast, come in there, and we're going to talk about what we've been talking about recently, that 5th to 6th zone, 15th to 9th place. OUTcast Alpha was able to get themselves into that, through that, to get themselves higher placement points. How do you get your team into that situation to be successful?
All right, so let me go ahead and play those commercials, and then we'll be joining, as Pickford said, with C-Dub. done with the commercials.
I would say thank you from our sponsors at HyperX.
Yes,
As we roll into
some amazing
pre-match 2 and
products.
3, we have our weekly segment with the coach. You know him as C-Dub, Outcast Alpha team member and the coach of the OUTcast Esports team. First of all, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time, C-Dub.
What's up, C-Dub? Good to hear from you again, man.
C-Dub, hello? You should be like, thank you very much, Pickford. I appreciate it.
I think I scared him away. F.
Okay, if you're talking, C-Dub, we can't hear you. Maybe it was the Gulf Coast Storms back for the third time.
Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's not muted himself. He's right here. Maybe he fell asleep. Maybe he is so sick of us he doesn't want to talk to us. He just paused himself and he's turned it off. Let's see if that worked. Can you hear us now, C-Dub? Oh, he left. He's gonna come right back. I'm sure he's having some sort of technical difficulties. You know, he is an old man. I know that much, and he probably has trouble using technology. So that could be it.
All right. Well, in the meantime,
let's see
we
if it
can
worked
go ahead
this
and take
time.
a look at the scores right there. In the meantime.
There
you go.
Yeah, we can hear you
We
now.
heard the old man comment, and he's like, nah.
So let's just get right into it. See them. Obviously, in that last Miramar match, you guys were able to get a top 4 finish. One thing that I've been noticing as these scrims get more and more sweaty, more and more difficult, is that when we get to the 5th zone. When the 5th zone stops, from 4th to 5th, we'll have approximately 15 teams. When the 6th zone begins, we have about 9 to 8. And we're losing 6 teams, all about a third of the lobby in that 3-minute kind of transition, rotating from 5th to 6th circle. It's the rotations, it's trying to find a spot. So if I'm a squad and I want to get better at, because I'm going from 1 point or 2 points of placement up to 7 or 8 placement points, just if I can stay alive those extra 3 minutes. When Outcast Alpha is going in there and you're going into that 5th or 6th zone, what are you guys looking for? How are you guys keeping yourselves alive?
Well, sometimes honestly, it's just 2 or 3 seconds can be the difference. If you're close to where it's going to close, we've had situations where we've healed off and knew we were going to die, but literally instead of getting a 13th, living for the extra however long you can med, 45 seconds or so, and got an extra point. So sometimes that'll work. But if that's not the case, just getting anything, literally anything, even if it's not what you want it to be, that will allow you to survive. A lot of people will be too picky. Let's go here, let's go there. No, I'd rather have a building, but just a hole in the ground. Anything that allows you to survive past that point is going to guarantee you those extra points and let the herd thin itself. So
it seems that teams like yourself, like 187, they try to get a nice center spot early in the match. By the time the 5th zone comes around, and sometimes where you set yourselves up isn't where you're going to end up. So how do you make that? What's the most effective way to make that? Like say, and if it's a city or the field, that 45, maybe 60, maybe 100-meter transition, not a big rotation, but just a small rotation. Get back in the zone, even if it's only, like I said, it's like 60, 70 meters. But there's so many teams, it's so many angles. You can't just, obviously you can't just walk in a straight line. How do you, I guess, put the situation into your best chance to get to move up from just like from being outside the zone inside the zone where it's only 70 meters, but that could be obviously huge if you can make it in.
Funny you said 70 meters, because something I used to preach on another team that I was in is that's about how far you can throw a smoke grenade. So literally just being there when the zone closes, like we talked about, can be the difference between 7th place and 14th place. If you can start chunking smoke at the edge of the zone just to allow yourself to live for the extra 2 seconds at the very end, or I'm sorry, have coverage for the first 2 seconds that you get in, that can do it. But it changes map to map, honestly. Sometimes, if you have vehicles in Erangel, you can drive, eat the blue, drive way out of the way and cut back in. Can't really do that so much in maps like Sandhawk, a lot of times in that case, you just have to fight through it. But like I said earlier, it's by any means necessary is the easiest answer to that.
Now,
don't be picky. Just get there.
in my opinion, a lot of teams when they get to a certain part, they'll go into a heel off. Even when there's multiple teams alive, hoping that a couple will die off. To tell you the truth, I'm not a big fan of that. The way I look at it is, there's a chance that I can kill anybody, but I can never ever kill the blue. The blue will always win. In theory, I could go out there and frag out anybody. You know, it could happen. So I always am more of a believer of, don't let the blue kill you. Let a player kill you. Even though if they gives them a point or whatever, I know that can happen, but at least give yourself a chance. When it comes down to say 4 or 5 teams left, and you have a do you think it's better to kind of just let the blue get you so that the other team get the point, or do you like to kind of give yourself a fighting chance to at least get out of that situation?
I mean, if it's super extreme, as in someone's holding a hard angle on you, there's no possible way you're going to make it, then I would let the blue kill me, especially in a tournament type situation when it's somebody that is competing closely against you, like hacks or dream killers, especially hacks. If they're staring us down, we're not going to give them the extra point if it's a dire situation. So, but
No,
it also depends, depending on the point systems, because like this point system is so heavily based on positioning, where in the end, yeah, I'll take a hill off and try to get the extra position if it's possible. But in the 2020 point system, where the kills are worth significantly more as a ratio, yeah, I would get out and try to take the kill points. So
now, obviously, you know, yourself and Brownie, you know, you both have a lot of experience IGLing. Once you get to that 5th zone, when do you like to kind of make that move? And obviously, if you wait till like the last second, then you have no real choice other than keep running because you have the blue right behind you. If you leave a little bit earlier, you can maybe stop for a second and turn, maybe take some shots here or there. But in that 5th zone, if you have, let's say, 100 meters to go or 70 meters to go, because that's usually what the range is going to be in that last of those zones. Where do you like to kind of have your smoke deployed, ready to move when that timer's going down?
I mean, the smoke, the first smoke you throw is going to take 7 seconds, so you definitely don't want to wait past that 7-second mark. You want to be able to move before then. I mean, for me, depending on the obstacles, 20, 15 seconds, depending on what's going around. Of course, if you see a solid shot to zone, take it. Even if there's 2 minutes left, take it. If you know you're going to get there. So.
Well, I know that the match is about to get started, so good luck in Sandhawk, and good luck to that OUTcast Alpha team. We'll talk to you and Brownie at the end of the night, and hopefully we'll have nothing but good news after a successful night for OUTcast Alpha, and the Bravo and Charlie for that matter.
See you guys.
All right, good luck.
I think that is in these scrims, Random, that's kind of like the new meta strat. I think is figuring out a way to stay alive between teams 15 and in the 5th zone, 5th to 6th zone, because we've seen so many. It's really been destroying Misfire. If you've looked at Misfire's finishes, a lot of 15, 14, 13 place finishes, because we're halfway through that kind of transition. We played very, very smart for 20, 25, 30 minutes. And then just in that rotation, we all get knocked out, and therefore we can't, get to those higher points. And I think it's affecting a lot of teams. And I think that is the key for a lot of these like kind of second level teams in here, preventing them from getting to that top level, is that their inability to kind of get from 15th down to like 9th place in these rotations.
All right, so starting north of Hot 10, gonna be going just south of Paradise Resort, right over Bon, and ending just north of Lokawi. Comparing the first 2 flight paths to this one's real ugly. Considering
I'll tell you what,
there's
this
92
is
players.
a great time to go to Tambang right here. I know you love that place. I love that place. This is a great to jump all into Tambang. Plenty of loot down there, even for a whole squad.
Dude,
the little salt hills at Tambang.
You know how we call it pulling a Pickford, is where you, as soon as you jump, you pull your parachute. You can totally do that and get all the way to Camp Charlie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're gonna be floating for a while, but you can do it.
I know. I can reach anywhere 3,100 meters or less, based on by my. Obviously, you're gonna pull the shoot very, very early to go 3,100 meters, but it can be done. And so you can pretty much hit anywhere on this map if you pull the just knowing when to hit the shoot. And I also like in this this
Bad.
map is jumping behind the camps, like going to Bantai, jumping behind Camp Alpha,
Yeah,
jumping
yeah,
behind
and then
Camp,
because
and then kind of going up to that hill and looking
yeah,
over to see who's down there. Jumping behind Camp Bravo, hitting those little compounds behind Camp Bravo, and then give yourself an opportunity to kind of like get some eyes on them before it gets. It looks like Misfire's gonna take a long jump. They're gonna go over top
quite a few
both.
teams. Look at all the teams going down. We have
Oh,
Outcast Charlie,
Misfire pushed off to
Outcast
go over to
Bravo,
cave.
and okay, yeah. Then I think Misfire kind of seen all the shoots. So they're like, nope, we're gonna land last.
This is gonna be a Bravo Charlie battle royal at Camp Charlie. I think this is gonna be good. A battle of Bravo and Charlie both at Camp Charlie.
Does
Two
that mean
kind of
Charlie's gonna win?
equally, well, the two pretty equally balanced teams.
Down goes Stella.
One that kind of have the bragging right.
Yeah, anti-sweat landing with the woo, giving the woo just a little bit of a warm up. Normally they don't have a whole lot of action happening right away for them. And here comes Trick. FPP, we got the FPP to work. Down goes Trick, getting knocked by Fredo. Fredo now putting in some work. Jonica.
Yeah, but we talked to
help.
Jonica and Trick. Jonica's job is to stay on Trick's side and pick him up.
Unfortunately, Jonica is kind of far away, was not able to do that. Team Anti-Sweat now currently just left to Unknown, and Unknown's actually pushing this by himself. He has no fear. Although, I mean, this is a full squad of the Woo, so.
I mean, sometimes, a little fear can do you a little good and say,
and down he goes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes discretion is the better part of valor.
All right, now we can go see the battle at Camp Charlie with both the B and C team of Outcast.
I'd tell you what, both of them are playing it pretty smart. They're staying close. They're not over peaking. Even though it is FPP, it's usually very easy to get yourself knocked because you have to peak. But we'll have to see. Although it looks like pretty much everybody in Charlie has got at least some damage, so they're gonna have to get themselves some health while they're at it. While looks like Bravo is struggling. I guess my situation right now is, are they just kind of like dancing with each other and they're both going to pull out, or is someone going to kind of make a decision? I think we got a little bit of a first to get knocked force field.
Yeah, I think
right
that's
now.
what it's going to be. Whoever gets knocked first and the other team's going to push. That's what they're waiting for. We do have some action going down with Top Strikers and True Esports. Men of 4 as well, fighting. I'm not even sure where they're fighting at. I can't see them. They are.
And Ligman from Bravo knocked one of the guys from Charlie.
Docs. Okay, that's why I couldn't see him. So Panther, I hardly ever see any action down here. And look at that. This place actually being used for once.
The Docs.
All the way down to the south part. We do have. Let's see.
And
Marshy's
looks like,
been knocked by Misfire.
Rolling up on Misfire.
Down goes Zozu, but Marshy's more than likely going to bleed out right now. I don't think he's going to be able to get revived.
Sarge is right kind of behind. Looks like if Marshy can pull back, somebody needs to go and shoot underneath the house.
And down goes Sarge. Even less of a hope. Thirsted for trying to go get the revive on Marshy. Vulcan has now been knocked. Where is he? Unfortunately, very exposed. Yeah. Joni knocked as well. So Mommy iOS now forced by himself. Zozu gets the thirst but gets knocked as well. That boy got to be careful that he does not get knocked right here, because he is now the only one standing.
Mommy's gonna try to push back. If it's a shame that Fat Boy, if Chipper would just like kind of look up that hill, he could take out Mommy, but he's so taking care of Vulcan. Looks like he's gonna be able to get up there, and Mommy's gonna be able to get to Junie.
Unfortunately, as soon as he revived him on the other side of the hill, they need to get to Zozu and Artemis quick before.
I don't know what Fat Boy's doing.
Revived.
Maybe he's just doing Overwatch. They have to get pushed down there and get to the.
Yeah, one of these guys have to get down the hill before. Never mind, he's been revived. Mommy iOS not going to be able to peek this corner. Although, I will say Fatboy with that car 9 is going to prevent a lot of peeking. Especially with the
doesn't
6.
say Balkan drew the looks like Zozu's done, but they can still have play time to get to Artemis.
Artemis was just in a little bit better position to get revived. And it looks like
exactly.
Dream Killers are just going to take off from it. That's not a fight they want. Unfortunately, they're going to head right towards OUTcast Alpha. So that's probably not a fight they want either.
And that's like, and if you went into that like right before it on paper, you said Dream Killers versus Misfire, you think Dream Killers is going to win that fight, but that's how tight these teams are. You know, you run into it. One team has an advantage over another. Misfire loses a player. Dream Killers lose 2 players. Both these teams have take a lot of damage in an early match battle. That's going to obviously affect them later on. So you run any 2 teams who run into each other. They're so close in quality that everyone's going to lose somebody no matter who you run into. 187 runs to Misfire runs in and goes to be elite. No matter what happens, someone's going to lose a player or 2, even if they win.
Right now, Dream Killers about 100 meters south of OUTcast. Oh, we got some action down there with B and C team. Ligma has been
pushing
knocked.
each other.
Junie knocked, thirsted by Brownie. Knocked by Jay White, thirsted by Brownie. That means that leaves Mommy iOS. Down goes Panda. It is a 4v2 right now. OUTcast.
Yeah, it looks like Charlie's taking
the
lead in this match. I know this
and
is
the bragging rights right here.
Big bragging.
Down goes Lust, thirsted. So Beanie,
send
BB,
it,
and
baby.
Send It Bro. Only ones that this is a definite push if you can push. They already lost one player.
I mean, Dark Lord is trying to go find Panda. For why, I don't know. First, sorry, Knock, you should be helping the team. Push us out. Sent this Knock Spaz and thirsted him.
Wow, so down goes Bong Ming. So Dark Lord now.
Yeah, I think Dark Lord really
himself.
kind of
no.
There, and now they could pick up all their members right now and get out of here with no loss. What a change in dynamic so quickly. I think Dark Lord kind of pushing. It was a 4v2. Then they're able to clutch it because I think Dark Lord trying to find Panda to thirst them, and they didn't push as an entire group. Probably did them a disservice and was one of the causes of them not being able to finish them off. But I guess it looks like Bravo gets the bragging rights for this match.
Yeah, showing why they're the Bravo team. Definitely. They would have definitely not had it lived it down if they would have.
Oh, I'll tell you what though. I mean, I'm in their own Discord, and they do have there's a rivalry between these teams. No joke
good.
Rivalry.
It's always good to have a nice, healthy rivalry.
I tell you what, if they said, "Who am I sure that
you
doesn't
just-
cheat
makes you
by
better.
like teaming?" and it's OUTcast teams because they really all. I mean, I tell you what, I think that Bravo and Charlie would rather squad wipe Alpha than win.
If
you gave them
that's their one goal.
One choice. I mean, that's really what's on there. They get hyped if they even knock somebody from OUTcast level, let alone finish them.
Oh, True Esports and Misfire with True Esports.
But they're gonna have to get over there because they can't be too separated. Because they have all 4 members. This is a situation where Misfire has to kind of get that first knock. Because
especially
they're down
them
one
already
player.
being down one player. Let's see, Vulcan has a nice little angle on these guys. Unfortunately for Vulcan, gets knocked. He did have the angle. Down goes Pancake. Down goes Killer. Fatboy gets the knock. Luckily, 2 knocks. So who knows if Elia's gonna look at that Molly might actually connect. It did not. But Deimos is now pushing. Fatboy just needs to either he's wasting time right. He should have revived Artemis. I know it's hard to see from because obviously he can't see right above him. But yeah, he's wasting time right here. He could have revived Artemis in this time. Unfortunately, True Killer has been revived. Pancake now about to revive. He's not gonna have enough time to revive Artemis by the time they get revived. They revive Pancake because they're gonna push this. Let's see. There goes the smoke. potentially he might still get the revive right here. Vulcan goes down.
You know, they come from the left or the right.
And they did get the revive on Artemis. Very nice. Although they've lost Vulcan. And down goes Fat Boy. Down goes Killer. But down goes Misfires immediately after.
Yeah, because I mean,
he was
Artemis was so low. He didn't even heal up. Maybe if he was healed up, he would have a better chance. But especially a team like, and that just kind of shows exact. We just saw it with
Mommy
Dream
iOS
Killers went
pushing
against
towards
Misfire,
Outcast.
and now in this match right here, True they lose. They get knocked 2-3 guys, and Misfire gets killed. But I mean, True gets 3 of their guys not able to get them picked back up to get out of there. But that's how all these squad battles are so close. One extra couple shots here or there, and both of those squad matches could have been completely different, both for Dream Killers and for True Esports.
And look at this. So the zone right now shifted, and it looks like
Give me a
boot
I
camp,
would love a boot camp circle end zone.
And it's looking like it could be. Although I know you're rooting for that, but I'm rooting for this little island right here that's between boot camp and the opposite side.
To the left of boot camp.
That little tiny island, yeah. Let it end there, and that'd be sweet. Team 22's all. Let's go take that spot. That spot's ours. For sure.
I mean, that is a good kind of spot to maybe take over right now. You know, get yourself up in there now. I mean, that little there's absolutely no cover.
It's definitely very scenic. Yeah, for sure. And
I mean,
if you can get in there,
and the thing
we're
is
totally
that
joking
so hard
right now and watch it end
360.
there. Watch it be like the Erangel map where we had that crazy shift. That'd be insane if it ends right there. Don't blame me if it does, okay, guys? Sorry in advance if it happens. I didn't make it happen, I swear. And we got the remaining members of Team 23. Damn it, don't have my cheat sheet here. Team 23 is Zero Excel. Right now in a scooter. I'm trying to get past. Did they get their scooter stuck? No, wait. Okay, there we go.
Every time I see a scooter on Erangel, I think of Random and Lady heading out health and picking up weapons, exchanging health for weapons in the fist matches.
Trick gets the knock on Blade. Let's go check that out. That is between 187 and the Woo. I said Blade, I meant Blaze. This is definitely a good matchup right here. The Woo versus 187. People are going to get hurt.
Is Blaze able to get picked up? Yes, this is...
Pro
this
DJ
is
has been knocked by White.
A heavyweight fight.
And Thirsted as well. Very unfortunate for
Blaze
187.
still knocked.
Ginger's knocked. Clown out. The only one left. Down goes Clown. Finished off,
wow.
of course, by
16th
Trick.
place with that one placement point. And obviously after their excellent finish in last match, first place, it's obviously they're not going to have as successful a third match. But there is that fourth match still left for teams to kind of make up any points. We'll have to see how the scores round out after this round.
Mommy iOS just so far from the zone right now. Misfire is about to be able to gatekeep top strikers as they're forced into the zone. Fourth zone definitely does do damage, and unfortunately for you guys, it's not going to end on that little tiny baby island, okay? I was totally hoping it was going to end there just for the content, but unfortunately it does not.
Baby island.
Yeah, because there's that other bigger island, which is the one with the actual compounds in it. That's the main little island. We'll call that one Baby Island. It's a better. Although very scenic, though, with the palm trees. So Top Strikers is able to get in around JJTC, the second Misfire team. We have Amena for Bravo, who came in second place in that Miramar, very nearly clutched it towards the end. Let's go check out Elia as he or she rose up on Outcast Alpha.
There's a bunch of both Mommy and Aaliyah rolling up on Outcast at the same time.
While the rest of True Esports is being kept. Down goes Mommy iOS. Finally finished off by Aaliyah from True Esports. So down goes Dream Killers. 15th place at least. Greedy's knocked. About to get thirsted by the zone. Finished off by the zone, I should say. BBC only bandages. 4th zone. The zone's about to close on him too, so it's about to do... No, never mind. It's already closed on him. Down goes Dano. C-Dub is knocked.
Was running into the woo, so good luck. It's going to be a tough one. And Top Strikers at the same time.
C-Dub crawling out in the open, trying to get to someone. Brownie has been knocked. Down goes Jay White. This is a 1v... What is this? 1v2? 1v... No, this is a 1v4 scenario. Unfortunately, Gold's left by himself.
Yikes.
Obviously, that door is open. We just can't see it. Nice little visual. Gets the knock on Damo. Trying to get the thirst. Not able to, but probably did enough damage to be able to get the kill. And down he goes. Killer as well, but knocked. Gold actually able to clutch the save right now on C-Dub, who was able to crawl all the way across the road. Let's go check out Dempsey. Dempsey's had some unfortunate first 2 rounds. One of the first teams to go out both rounds early. They've survived better this round, and look at the exact opposites happening. Normally, the last 2 rounds, Lovey has been the last one to be alive, but knocked right now. Potentially is about to bleed out. Madara needs to get there. No way! Down goes Lovey. That's sad. Mob about to die to the play zone. Down goes Mob, knocked. Down goes Handos. Chibi knocked. Nobody knocked.
It's about to get spicy. This is where the 5th zone.
Oh, Chibi's not knocked. Chibi was just healing outside the zone. Fortunate for the remaining members of OUTcast Alpha, they do not have to move this round. The zone shifted in their favor. That was an unusual amount of shots that had to be kind of audio.
And now these teams have to rotate. This is where we're going to lose a lot of teams all at once.
Ligma.
Starting with, looks like the JJTC.
Down
Top
goes
Strikers,
Jin.
both of them running into.
Down goes Outcast Charlie. Down goes JJTC. The Woo fighting, keeping Top Strikers from being able to enter into the zone. Trick already with 7 kills, showing why they love Sandhawk. BBC knocked for Mena 4. Zone shifted again in the favor of Outcast, and of course a lot of people are down here, but they've gotten lucky. They got half their squad removed, killed, but very fortunate they had not have to move for the last couple of zones. They don't have to move for this zone either. In fact, it's looking very likely that they could potentially have the zone end on them. Look, guys, you see what it does? Look at that. I try to spectate Devour. Oh, there it goes. Finally.
And all these teams are very, very close on the top. Outcast Alpha, Hacks, True Esports. Each one of these points is so very important. I mean, Hacks and Outcast Alpha only 10 points separate them in the overall power rankings. True Esports just like 20 to 30 points behind those guys. So it's so important that these guys get as many points as they possibly can. And of course, Metaphor Bravo a little bit farther out, but still, I love to play spoiler for all these.
They had an excellent game last round too, and they're so far at least 6th place with 3 kills. Very doing very excellent, and as well having their full.
I mean,
it's
I don't.
really hard having
Metaphor
full squad towards
Bravo
this end
isn't
of
even
the
like
zone.
a B team. It's just a Spanish B team. I mean, they're just as good as any of the other teams. And I wouldn't say they're a B
Down
team. They're just
goes
a Spanish
Devour. Taken out by Gold. Thirsted by Gold. Flop has been knocked. Floop, I think that's what it is. Elia has been knocked for True Esports. And let's see the zone. If it favors, it might just favor. No, it does not. OUTcast Alpha is going to finally have to move from here. Where's the zone? This zone partially has the road inside of it. So not a good zone, really. I mean, not a good final zone for these teams. It's pretty much a flat area right here. Although there is these blocks right here to vary the zone. Although Mena 4, Bravo are to the eastern side of the zone, so it's going to be very difficult for any team to try to take those positions. Down goes Crispy, knocked by C-Dub. And here comes those hard choices we like to talk about towards the end of the round.
Mm-hmm. Now you have to move on. This is when you're gonna hit. If you get the smokes, this is when you're gonna deploy all of them. Get those smokes out there. Make yourself a little wall. Peek the corners of that smoke. You throw the smokes on either side of the rocks.
Pancake has been knocked. Mena 4 and True Esports are taking care of each other. Gold. No, the zone. Down goes Gold. Finished off by Team Los. That zone forced Los in there. Down goes Pancake.
You what? Three teams that's Metaphor Bravo.
Metaphor Bravo in a better position. Never mind.
Clutch this.
The position changed on them immediately now.
Yeah.
Now Crispy and Dizzy have the zone.
If right now you got to get Elma back up, get Elma up to 100%. Rufus, everything's get up to 100% because you obviously by looking at the kill feed and the people that you have a one-person advantage. So you got to kind of use that to your advantage. I would push.
Currently 17 kills, by the way.
Wow. As I said, this is a team that can show up. We seen them sometimes not do very well, but then they frag out and come in here. A team that comes in here every so often, just like a team like Genesis comes in here every so often and just does damage, just throws the whole Discord or the whole lobby into disarray.
I had to not take the world's biggest QBZ shot just because it's towards the end of it. I don't think I've gotten a QBZ yet, so. Down goes Dark J. Almamont knocked. Down goes Ruthless. So Los wins this.
Los comes in
19 kills. Should have 19 kills. No.
Wow.
20 kills.
20 kills. So Los comes in here and just goes off. And one of those teams that they're not going to score enough points to get themselves anywhere close to the top 10, but just doing damage, just ruining everyone's night by getting a lot of kills and taking that number one spot. Metaphor Bravo, 2 great matches in a row, coming in second place with 4 kills. True Esports with 9 kills. OUTcast Alpha, another 4th place finish, right in their power zone where they normally do 5 kills. Hacks coming in with 5 kills in 5th place, 10 HP. 3 points. All the teams are kind of in that top 10, all coming in the top 10. Woo in 7th place. Trick 8 kills on that match, so getting back up to what he expects. Top Strikers in 8th place with 5 kills. The Metaphor Alpha in 9th place with 2 kills, and the other team in 10th place with 7 kills. So we're seeing a little bit of fresh faces, a little bit of teams we haven't seen as much. Genesis not as strong. That one coming in 14th place. We're going to talk to the leader of Genesis, who is Shades, in a couple minutes after Random is able to do the commercials and give us get those scores in.
we're back. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong
No
thing.
problem. We're just trying to get a hold of Shades. I literally just spoke to him right before Scrim started today, and everything seemed to be running smooth. But as you know, everything's live. Can always have a little bit of oh, yep, I just got hold of him. He said he's getting everything ready. He had to get the codes and everything out, so he'll be in here momentarily. And we're going to talk to the guy, Shades from Genesis, the leader of Genesis. We saw just there with Loss and Genesis on Wednesday. Quality teams coming in here for a match or a scrim here or there, and they're able to do damage. So without any further to-dos, let me introduce from the leader of Genesis, Shades. So thank you very much for giving us some of your time.
Hey man, thank you for the opportunity, bro.
So I guess first question is, what is Genesis? What are you guys about? How'd you guys get together?
Genesis was Exodus. He partaked some of y'all scrims before, so a lot of stuff happened in the clan where we experienced a lot of toxicness with some ex-members, so I decided to just revamp the whole thing, create a fresh beginning. That's why I call it Genesis. Fresh start, fresh beginning. So here we
I
are.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So one of the things we're kind of talking about today is okay. I guess this question is, how did you guys find out about the scrim season and start coming in there? Because I know you guys started a little bit later than most of the rest of the teams.
Well, to be honest, I I didn't really know this was a whole season thing. I didn't really know. It was Wiz told me about it was a season thing, so I was like, oh cool. But then yeah, we are late. So this is just basically like we trying out some stuff. So we trying to get as much scrims as possible so we can see what gels together, see what the synergy is about, So it's this is just training for us right now until we can perfect a lot of stuff for us.
I like that. I like that because what you guys are coming in here, and one thing that we've noticed these scrims is since any team can come in, is that a team who didn't play all of them can come here and immediately make a difference. And like you guys did on Wednesday, you guys come in here, second place finish, and really just throw the whole lobby into disarray. A team that maybe doesn't play as much, but then because when you get those second place points, that's second place points that another team doesn't get, and that really, so you guys can come in here and just play once every now and then and really have a lot more influence than say if it was a standard season where you have no chance to do anything. So you guys have been playing very well. So I guess the question is that after the season has 2 more weeks, so there's going to be a little bit of downtime, and then a second season is going to come in. Are you guys planning on participating in the second season of OUTcast Scrims?
Oh, definitely. As I said before, this is us trying to just work out some strats, work out what works for us, because we trying to play with the point system as PMCO and PMPL, where 15 points is a chicken dinner. So we're trying to play along that path. So we're trying to find that balance with aggression with placement points. So
because just so you know, Outcast Alpha, they use the 2019 PMCO score still, so it's 30 points for a chicken dinner in these scrims, 1 point for kill. They never adapted the 2020 scores, so they're still going from scores 2 years ago. So placement is obviously huge in these versus like even 2020. Yes, this is one of the few scrims that still use a 2019 scoring system. They never adapted or changed. So they're still so it's placement is huge obviously in these scrims. So
I realize.
So and when you know that, so obviously you said before you had Exodus and that kind of a little toxicity. One of the big things about these scrims is not only playing well, it's playing well for 8 weeks. And that really, a lot of teams that started out aren't here now at the end because of whatever reason, toxicity, they can't hold that. How are you going to be able to kind of like keep a team together? How do you keep a team together so they can be hitting on all cylinders for 8 weeks for a whole season?
Well, um, how I do things, with the team. Well, we're basically friends. We just normally play some classics together. So, at first, I just I left to find experience, see what the comp world was about, see how people were, how to get along with people. So, I came back, brought that experience towards the team, and so we just, how can I say this? We decided that if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right with no arguments. If we do end up in an argument, we try to squash it as soon as possible, find solutions, and try to work it out, because we don't want to have bad blood between us, and that brings negativity within the clan, and I don't want that.
So I guess you have the experience of seeing what a negative clan can be, and obviously, if it's gonna be your clan, it's something you want. I'm the same way. I was in kind of like went from like looked around, pretty much took all the things I liked from other clans and brought that into my clan, and then everything I didn't like I kept out. And toxicity is one thing I'm kind of like made fun of on our team as a leader, because I really don't even like arguing more than just once again, I don't like it gets too. Once it gets, I feel like it's too far. I just tell them to where we're gonna stop, because I don't like that at all. But obviously, some people like to kind of have a little bit of argument, a little bit, and sometimes it's healthy to kind of, if you disagree. I just don't like it, but I'm just an old fuddy duddy. So what do I know? So, a couple of last questions. It sounds like are you guys where are you guys actually from? Are you guys from all over the Caribbean, from America, where do you guys hail from?
We are Jamaicans.
The whole team?
Only one person, and that's Jin. We're trying to recruit her. She's American. She has a lot of experience as well.
Tell him to start the round. I accidentally clicked out of it.
You clicked out of what?
I clicked out of the round. Hold on.
It hasn't started yet.
I know, but
so, because I know that like one thing at Misfire, one thing that happened with us is that we just went after players, and if we got along, so we have like a player from Trinidad, and Tobago. We got a player from England. We got but originally from Africa. You just end up meeting people from all over the world. Like this conversation right now. If it wasn't for PUBG, how would you and I ever have a conversation? So that's one thing I love about PUBG, is that you can meet people from all over the world.
That's true.
And kind of meet new people and have kind of like different aspects of life, but still, have kind of like you and I kind of have a very similar ideas on how to run a team, even though we come from completely different parts of the world. And I respect you for that. So I guess what we're learning what I'm understanding is that Genesis is just getting their feet wet in the last 2 weeks of the season, getting themselves ready, getting that synergy, getting everything ready. So come season 2, you guys are ready to hit it off to be one of the top teams.
Yep, basically that's it. For now, we are just we are actually trying to build a community after all this, get some casual members, get that support in, if you hear the trembling in my voice, it's because I'm outside in the cold.
Hey, that's no problem.
Connection out here, so.
Hey, that's no problem. I have no problem with that at all. I'm just. I tell you what. I'm just happy that you were able to give us a few minutes of your time. I really appreciate that. I respect you, and hopefully Genesis will see a lot more of you guys in the upcoming scrims.
You'll see a lot of us. You see more.
Right.
You'll see more.
Well, that everybody, all the viewers, as we get ready to start the 4th match in Gordon Kennedy, is Shades, the leader of Genesis, the team we've just kind of got been introduced to over the past couple weeks. Team dominated on Wednesday with a 2nd place finish, having a little bit of a tougher time on Friday, but still doing well, and there's still plenty of points to be scored in this last match as we finish up on the Kendi, because this is it's time. This is the time's out, Random. You gotta make some points here if you haven't had a good night so far.
And I was just showing the scores for the current scores, unofficial, And
Yes,
right
sir.
now, the Wu currently in the lead, 72 points, 24 kills. Metaphor Bravo, second place, 64 points, 12 kills. True Esports just right behind him, 63 points, 20 kills. Last one standing with that spectacular performance in the last round, 62 points, 30 kills. And then 187 Black tops our top 5 with 53 points, 19
Still pretty close.
kills. Yeah. So,
like,
overall,
no one's
this
running
one's
away
gonna
with it.
decide. Yeah, someone's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna decide. Really, the Wu have
There's
been
a lot
doing
of points. There's
really
a lot of
well
points up for grab.
surviving towards the end, except for in that last round they kind of died slightly a little earlier than I think they were anticipating.
And speaking of Genesis obviously didn't get the memo, jumping right on top of Misfire. Actually, only 2 members of Genesis, though, jumping. Oh no, 3 members of Genesis. One's still in the air. Nail. So right now they're kind of at a 3v4, but Zozu pushed back a little bit. But they're all meeting up right off the bat in Krishnas. Obviously, this is what happens when you have a new team comes in. That's kind of like where Misfire likes to drop. And obviously, Genesis with a new team doesn't know where teams like to drop or whatever. Doesn't have really, maybe that's where they like to drop. But I think that Zozu's going to have to kind of push in a little bit. Misfire is most effective when all 4 members are working together. And if they can get any type of advantage, be it 4v3, I think that's what they're going to have to do. Is Fatboy's already taken a few rounds from, because I tell you what, Kibo YT is a very, very high level player. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has like almost a 5 or 6 KD in only 3 matches.
We actually have again some action going down with Mommy iOS and Dream Killers with 187. If you guys remember from the first round, they met up in the very beginning. Mommy iOS going down early. This time it looks like Blaze is gonna pay for it. Going down thirsted already. Also see some action going down with JJTC. Let's actually see where they decided to jump. Near Villa. Wow, look at this. Ginger from 187 Black now left by himself.
Wow, what a huge, I mean, he's gonna have to go into survival mode if he wants to keep that 5th place finish, because Misfire, I mean 187 Black, they do have a good lead, but if they fall out of the top 5, they fall like into a 10th place, and a team gets like 30 points. That could really make a change. One of the reasons why 187 has been so successful is that they don't have a bad match. So even when they don't win, and Ginger goes down by Sarge.
Oh wow! So they go down 23rd with 0 kills. So that is what, 1 point, right?
1 point.
1
point is all it is. And now Genesis and Misfire just going at it right now.
Let's go check out that. Wiz has been knocked. Vulcan knocked. Down goes Titan Jin.
It's now just, I think it's just Kibo
Fatboy and
versus
and Kimo.
I think, but
and down goes Kimo. I'm not sure where the other member of
the
Genesis
guy, and this
Nali,
is exactly what I was saying. Nali, obviously Nali would have been maybe the deciding factor with one more play that was so close between those two
Nali
teams.
was in Shades, was it? The one we were just
No,
interviewing?
I don't think so.
Maybe staying in
because
the interview.
because I asked him I was like, because he said he was the leader, he wasn't playing.
Okay, good.
So I mean, I really hope because Nali's still in the match. Where is? I don't know where.
Way on the opposite side. Towards the opposite side of the fight.
So obviously, that's obviously not going to be. And now he's running.
Very nicely done by Misfire surviving that.
And that's another example. That's now 3 issues with Misfire. We saw with Dream Killers. They win. They get 2 kills. Dream Killer gets away. Misfire loses 1. They have a fight with True. True ends up defeating them, and Misfire kills one of them. And now Misfire runs into Genesis, the team that came in 2nd place in Wednesday, and is able to beat them 4-3. It's so close that when these squads battle in that just having Nali there could have completely changed it. If Nali was there, maybe he kills Fatboy, and they have all their players up still. Just good for Misfire, because Misfire obviously not having the best night. They need a nice, strong finish. They already have 3 kills. They need a strong finish to kind of recover from kind of having these bad finishes.
taken out by Team 20. I think they only had it was only a duo, so unfortunately for Zero Excel going down early in this final round. Fortune Knights, the final round of week 6 of these HyperX scrims. Only 2 weeks left, guys. That
We got,
is
what
6
after
more
this will be
events.
6 events,
Yeah.
20 matches. It's been close. I can't wait to see how it all rashes out, and then who wins what.
Not a whole lot of action, guys, but this is still the first zone. I fully expect once the zone closes, and this was actually not one of those typical, half in the water, half in the land kind of Vikendi's zones. It's actually a decent zone with a lot of decent places to loot and hide. So that's actually probably pretty good for these teams, considering that they have not had good luck with the zone shifts in the last round. Let's see if Vikendi being the one with the weirder zones is gonna end up being the one with the normal zones in this round.
With the amount of customs that you did, Random, have you seen any improvement with the glitches in the custom rooms since the last update?
No, they make things
So
worse.
it's just as bad as it always has.
Erangel, you can no longer use advanced options on. Doesn't work regardless of what you do. So
Wow. So when you put it in, it just nothing happens. It just doesn't.
yeah, you can
Take 'em.
remove, take everything out. It doesn't do nothing. Same thing with Vikendi, but Vikendi's always been broken like that. So I've already got kind of used to it being broken. Sandhawk and Miramar are the only maps right now that advanced options actually work. And then also you have the situation where it's really hard to try to make an FPP match because you gotta like kind of mess with it. You gotta open up a room, then close it, then open it up again, and hope that it's FPP. That's why we had the Miramar match, which normally we run FPP. We had to run on TPP because Brownie was having issues trying to make it into an FPP match. So yeah, this season brought, Erangel 2.0, which is nice, really nice little areas that they added where there was a lot of competition, particularly in scrims. A lot of empty fields. They added craters, stuff in the way, to create a little bit more
Texture,
better action. Yeah. So, but along with all that stuff, they just kind of messed up the customs, the actual customs.
And hopefully, am I gonna be able to look forward to the 12 hours tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be, of course.
All right, so good. I'm going to show up and do some 12-hour customs on Trovo with Random. Starting at, was it 10 a.m., 11 a.m.?
10 a.m.
East Coast?
Pacific.
10 a.m. West Coast?
Mm-hmm.
So one, I think it says what?
1 Eastern.
1 Eastern. I love it.
Trasher has been knocked. I think this is from True Esports. Yes, and he's the only one here. He's the only one here, fortunately, for Team 20 United Front. Gold has been knocked by Marshy. It's a little unusual to sometimes see a knock from OUTcast. Normally they survive towards the end before getting knocked. Unfortunately, right now getting pushed by Dreamcast. Although this is not a good push right here. Pushing out in the open across the road's never a good thing. Brownie's knocked, but he should be able to get revived, especially with Marshy now knocked. Sarge has been knocked as well, so
Yeah,
Dempsey.
Bobby can't push back because he's stuck behind that tree, so it looks like he's going to try to go up the hill. Use the tree as cover, but and he gets knocked trying to get back to
Ghost
Sarge.
Melee Elite finished off by Team Los. Los already with 4 kills, full squad wipe. Let's go back on over to Dream Killers and OUTcast. And now each team is back at. I kind of wonder, did they get? I'm pretty sure they got that drop, didn't they?
Yes, it is empty.
Okay. No. They have not been able to get to that drop. There's still a MK and a Groza in there.
Oh, well, it's showing me is The one
gotta
by
get-
Outcast Alpha?
Yeah, you gotta get close enough to it for it
Oh.
to show stuff. Yeah, another glitch I've gotten used to.
Oh, it is. Oh my goodness, it's chocked full of yum-yums.
And they could really use this armor. Unfortunately, being pinned down, they did get the revive on Sarge, Mommy iOS.
And this
As
is
well.
kind of shows like these top tier teams, they're not getting too worried. They're able to get back and get all their players back up. They don't. A lot of teams will just give up, they're trying to get out of there, try to run away, but they're able to get all of Dream Killers back up to deal with Outcast Alpha.
The Wu have a flare coming down on them as well. Og and an A-dub with the 4x scope. Should be able to do some damage with that. Let's go check out. Not seeing a whole lot of action, so let's just go back to Outcast.
You prefer the AUG A-dub or the Groza MK?
Well, my preferred loadout, if you include flare weapons, would be an AUG and an A-dub.
Yeah.
Depends if I want to be a sniper. If not, then I'd rather have an AUG and an MK, so that way you can rush with the MK. Put a red dot on there with an extended mag, and it's a nice little rush weapon. Until it happens to you, then you're cursing it because you can't hear it after the first round.
Yeah, this is bold. What the heck, man?
This guy's using from United Front, trying to get a knock with a crossbow.
And Judy pushing on the right by himself on Outcast Alpha, knocking gold, but kind of on an island now by himself.
Here goes a Molly.
Pretty much preventing anybody from getting the gold to pick him up. Still Judy by himself across the road. All the other members of DK still on the far side of the road.
Unfortunately, this gap right here between the buildings, that's what's preventing the revive on gold.
It looks like
And
C-Dub
they're just gonna leave. They decided
they're gonna
it was
leave.
not worth the fight.
They're and now not only do they get gold, they're gonna get Alpha's flare.
And then they're gonna go right towards the Wu. Yeah, you definitely turn. Oh no!
Oh
No!
man.
Ah, wow! Definitely. Oh wow! They actually got stuck inside this trench right here. That actually worked out for them.
You gotta be talking about going out of the fire out of the frying pan into the fire, leaving DK to run right into the Wu.
Let's see if they can manage to escape, and they do.
Oh,
No, they crashed
ran
into.
another-
Oh no!
another-
Down goes Jay White Brownie. Right there to potentially get the
The
revive.
drive. I mean, the vehicles are not working out well for Outcast Alpha.
The Zima, this vehicle in particular, like it turns really well. So any little adjustment you do, it just seems like it's like overly done. Like if you try to turn, oh no, that nade, down goes Jay White and Brownie. The nade was actually tossed a little far, but because they were so damaged, that's all it took.
I mean, not good for Outcast Alpha. You know, coming in, running into these guys, 17th place.
And
and there they're
goes
done.
C-Dub, finished off by the Wu.
So
That was
obviously
just a
getting
series
knocked out
of
in
very
17th place.
unfortunate accidents, car wrecks.
Yeah,
that led to
that really. But I tell you, that 1 point is not going to help them with their points and
no.
also where they're standing in the overall rankings. That's
Especially
obviously
with
each match is so important.
You did say Hacks was currently only 10 points behind, correct?
Exactly.
So that means that, let's see. What's the current standing right now? Yeah, so after the third round, Alpha was only 1 point ahead of Hacks. So Hacks now is still alive with the full squad. If they can get, what is it? 14th place? would be 2 points, right, for the round.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can get
Exactly.
to 14th place, they could die and still outscore Alpha tonight and potentially get the lead on them. So yeah,
I mean, if they frag out and do really well, they could.
They can definitely close that 10-point gap between them. Because right now, as they stand, they are currently 8th place. But as we discussed, I mean, there's not a huge difference between like 2nd and 8th. There's like, 19 points, which is easily a win with a bunch of kills, and then they can close that gap.
What's big is now is obviously the worst place to come in is 16th place because do all that work to get 1 point. But still, one team has to get knocked out 16 minutes in. The next team gets knocked out coming in 16th place. Then those teams will start getting some placement points, going from 2 to 3, moving up after each team. But we're down to 16 teams with only the 3rd zone. So maybe when we get down to that 5th zone, it'll be a little thinned out and not as hectic as we've seen in the first 3 matches.
Outcast Charlie getting 2 flares. We got an MK and a Groza in one. Level 3 gear, of course. Let's see what's in the other one. An A-dub and an M249. So they have almost... The only thing that's missing from that is an AUG, and they would have had all the crate weapons right there.
But they didn't get it was the old school. They got a DBS.
I still can't believe that wasn't a crate weapon, okay? Down goes Spaz, getting knocked by the Woo's U-turn.
A lot of teams try to get as center as possible, with the Woo kind of holding a court in the center with Lost right by them, top strikers, Outcast Charlie, DK, Metaphor, Real Deal, and True Killers all kind of surrounding the Woo right now, along with Hacks down there.
Zone is closing in. We're about to see the next zone. Let's see where it goes. Everyone's already in this zone, so should be no major movements just yet. And let's see where this zone's gonna go. Who's it gonna favor?
Hopefully it'll go north west in favor of Misfire, because imagine if all those teams had to push up northwest. There's so many teams down there in the southeast right now. No, it goes right into the southeast where the teams are, so it should be better for a lot of the teams to try to get into that zone too, because so many teams are already in that zone. This is where Misfire is going to go, where 10 HP, Outcast Bravo, and Jin Stinchin, because looks like they're going to rotate right into maybe the Forgotten.
Nali's still alive for Genesis, trying to sneak his way in there with the pan in his hand. Got some action going down with top strikers and Men of 4. Unfortunately, Greedy now left by himself. And now taken out by
drive right
Dream Killers. Daisuke has been knocked by Deimos with there's a lot of AUGs going around. Evidently, I'm seeing a lot of them in the kill feed. Thirsted as well. Leaving the well, actually no, they're pushing. They're pushing towards True Esports. They're a little upset that their buddy just got thirsted like that. Peachy gets the knock on someone. Let's go check that out. And Panda is getting revived. Or Spaz, I'm sorry. Definitely not the team you want pushing you right now. Hacks needs these kills and they need the win. That can dramatically increase their placement with a win and a bunch of kills. Artemis has been knocked. Here comes the rest of Dream Killers. Gets the thirst on Artemis. I mean, I'm sorry, not Artemis. Well, Artemis is knocked. It was Zozu that got thirsted. Vulcan left by himself now, trying to get the revive on Artemis. If Artemis can potentially crawl to him, it would be better.
They made a very large rotation, so they went through a lot of teams.
Ah, that's sad. He was so close. So close. Let's go back.
Close.
Yeah, let's go back to... Nope, down goes Hacks. Look at the zone shifts all the way to the east this time, leaving top strikers right in the center of it. The Wu, though, they're going to be able to gatekeep any teams to the east. They're going to come directly east. And so, for example, we got team Last One Standing right there. Let's go over to BDE Elites fighting against True Esports. Right at the edge of the zone, just slightly out the zone. We also do have United Front versus JJTC. And Chibi has been knocked. Angel gets the knock on Dabs. He throws smoke right at Dabs' face. It looks like Last One Standing are in trouble. Down they go. Finished off by, I'm sorry, the Forgotten. Finished off by Last One Standing. Oh, Frankie, I would not be driving that damn thing around. That thing's smoking already, missing a tire. Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. He's trying to get his, there you go. That's a 200 IQ move right there. Gets his Dacia unstuck. Zone now closing in. Let's go check out Vulcan. Now, Vulcan only has to move in 36 meters, but those are a long 36 meters.
That Hacks right there,
right behind you.
on
Yeah.
him.
So it's very unfortunate. He's doing the bush strat, trying to hide in the bush, which is, you know what? Damn it, is a good strat when you're by yourself. Down goes Satan, getting knocked by Junie. This actually might be the perfect opportunity for Vulcan to get into the zone, with Dream Killers currently focusing on Hacks and Hacks focusing on Dream Killers. This is the perfect opportunity with the zone closing in. Or, I don't know, I feel like Vulcan's like waiting for the perfect time to strike. Throws a molly into the smoke. Here comes Peachy. Peachy's probably gonna get knocked. I don't know. Wait. Okay, never mind. I think Vulcan's waiting for like the last person. Down goes Jinjin, getting knocked by Deimos.
Oh, they're already right past him. He's got to jump up right behind him.
Dude, he's about to, and he has his Tommy out already. Finished off by Dream Killer. He had the perfect plan and everything. Had the perfect angle.
Didn't use it. Waited too long.
We got Team Los crawling on the ground right now, but they do have zone. They have the perfect position in zone right now. Unfortunately for Team Top Strikers, who did have the perfect zone, now moved away from them. That just shows you how volatile this zone can be sometimes. You think you're gonna have the perfect position, and then you have to travel. Even if you just have to travel 10 meters, but oftentimes you travel 10 meters, there's nothing there for.
We usually you don't see a zone end and with no buildings. This is a map designed to do compound to compound fighting.
Yeah, there's actually no compound.
We'll have to see when more of an open field battle as this one ends up.
Well, I guess technically I stand corrected because there is like a shack or something. I don't know what the heck you call this. There's like a hunting shack or something just in the edge of the zone. So that's definitely going to be utilized. In fact, I do think maybe potentially True Esports is going to take it. This is the one shack to rule them. And there happens to be a soda, an energy drink in there too. So there you go. It is a shack that provides both cover and health. Yep, and True Killers decide to take it. Not only that, too, but they got a rock. So they have a very nice position in zone. Now
10 HP is going to come right up behind Dream Killers.
Oh, but they got a BRDM, dude. They're rocking a BRDM right now. They decided to go for the long run right now. Let's see. It can take quite a bit of damage, but I mean, that's only if one or two people shooting at you. If you have a whole squad or squad shooting at you, it becomes very difficult to not get knocked by. Down goes Bliss and Joe. So it looks like Goldie and Prod made the perfect decision, and this is when it becomes a problem. Right at the edge of zone. Look at Ligma. Ligma should actually have shots on Goldie and Prod right now. And here comes the A-dub. Knocked. Very nice. And down goes Goldie, finished off by Ligma from Outcast Bravo. Last surviving
Trying to get in that zone, this 6 zone, so dangerous.
Down goes
running.
Ligma.
Oh, and there he goes, taken up by Zeus, top strikers. Prod's still alive.
Ghost knock for top strikers. Top strikers didn't make their way into zone. They have a decent spot in the zone. We'll see how the zone moves for these teams. Oh, look at that molly. Very, very nice molly. Forces Zeus away from the cover. And it's more likely going to probably get the thirst on Ghost. And the zone shifts away, of course, ending on team last one standing. Down goes Lucifer. A lot of little trenches and stuff inside this zone, inside this terrain, which teams are definitely taking advantage of. The Wu right at the very edge of the zone. They're going to eventually have to move in. Marshy getting revived by Sarge. How much time is that? 48 seconds before these. Most teams are already in there, but Prod's gonna have to find a way in there. He's inside the BRDM. Is he gonna take it, or is he just using it to kind of heal up? We'll see. He's gonna wait to the end to move in.
And loot up as much as Prod can before he from his teammates.
Down goes Marshy, getting knocked by team last one standing. Down goes Sway for Team Hacks. Floop has been knocked.
Yeah, the move, Prod.
Down goes Jonica, getting knocked by Peachy. Thirsted by Peachy. So the Wu finally forced their way in there. Unfortunately losing Jonica. Prod, is he gonna just heal off?
The thing is, I don't know if that's. I think he could make it if he tried.
He could have. I mean, nobody was actually paying attention to over there. He only has 3 first aids. I don't know how long. I don't even think he's gonna.
Maybe he's gonna wait till the last one and then run now. I guess maybe that's what I would. I mean, here you go. You're not gonna have enough time for the med kit, my guy.
He didn't even survive one team.
Yeah,
he would have been
one
better
team.
off.
I mean,
would have been better served in that BRDM and just going straight in there. I mean, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
That's what I would have done, but I
mean, who expects a BRDM to come rolling in towards one of the final circles? Nobody's expecting that, so. Oh, and the drop shot from Peachy. Down goes Peachy, finished off by Junie. Down goes Hacks. Hacks definitely did a lot better.
6th place finish, yeah.
It should definitely affect their placement and potentially maybe get him a lot closer to Outcast Alpha.
Yes, I think you are right, sir.
Because they got 2 kills and they came in 6, so that's potentially going to boost them up. And they should be able to get enough points over Alpha, especially since Alpha kind of went down early this round as well. So Alpha currently is, after the 3rd round, they are 7th. So Hacks was just below them. So they definitely overtook them, at least for this event. We'll see how the scores change in the power rankings.
Obviously, the Woo and DK need these points more than Last One Standing. But Last One Standing says, we only show up for an occasional match, but we do. You're gonna know who we are, and they're playing very, very, very well. In the second match, so they're on their way to maybe winning 2 in a row.
Mommy iOS knocked down goes Trick, down goes Dream Killers, and that just leaves U-turn by himself. Look at the last one. They're just still crawling, even though there was only one up. Down goes
and
the
Last
Woo.
One Standing. Wow, another great match by
11
Last
kills
One Standing.
for the Last One
11
Standing.
killing with Last One Standing. Woo in second place with 9 kills. Trick with only 3 kills. So I think he had 8 for the day, maybe, which is for me the greatest I've ever done. But for him, is probably we'll see how that goes against what he said, because they did not have the best night themselves. DK with 18 kills.
They were the first team to go down this round too, so they got 1 point.
Yes, true. Esports with 10 points. Top Strikers in 5th place. Another Top Strikers very consistent all night tonight with 6 kills. Hacks with in 6th place with 2 kills. 10 HP. 7th place with 0 kills. OUTcast, I think it's OUTcast Bravo in 8th place with 1 kill. Genius team we talked to earlier in Kemi in 9th place. Nale, even though the rest of the Genius got knocked up and misfire really, really early, I think in like second team knocked out, able to clutch to 9th place, then misfire, rounding out the top 10 with 3 kills in 10th place. Right behind them, Jin Jinston, Shin in 11th. So Misfire able to get at least a few points at the very end to prevent the night from being a complete waste. And a lot of the teams, just like we had on Wednesday, a team that doesn't show up a lot up to the top. Last One Standing, a team that only shows up for a handful of occasions, doing very, very well, winning two matches and playing well for the other. Probably, most likely, I think, gonna do. What was it? How much were they behind before this?
Who between who?
Last One Standing.
Behind?
Where were they after going into this match? Were they in first place?
No. Oh, you're talking about current standings. So current standings, the Last One Standing were, let's see,
in fourth place.
They just
but
came
with
in
that,
first
let's see with that first place if that how much that pushes them up.
Second. So
because Benafor Bravo, they got knocked out very early. They got knocked out.
True Esports was there,
and the Woo did come in second though. So with that said, the Woo did come in second.
The Woo probably will keep first place, just because
you are probably right.
Yeah, there's only like what 6-point difference between first and second placement.
Yeah, it is. It's 8 points. It's 30 to 22.
And I think the Woo had at least enough kills to kind of make up for it. So, I don't know, because there's only 10 points separating them. And
that's why we do the math.
Deficit. Yeah, there's already an 8-point deficit between the first place finish and second place finish, plus the 11.
So I think the Lost had more kills.
So Lost might pull this through with like maybe 10 points, 5 points ahead.
Well,
and
a
team Lost doesn't really matter, because they like you said, they don't join these all the time. They're in here every once in a while. But for like the Woo who've been in here, definitely is gonna affect their ranking, and especially
the Woo
everyone else
currently.
That killed,
it's obviously gonna affect obviously the Woo's finish is and Hack's finish obviously also affects those rankings with, as I get my scores written from beforehand. We had. Is it? OUTcast Alpha was, I think, 35 points ahead of the Woo going into tonight, and 10 points behind the Hacks. And True was a little bit farther behind that. They were 43 points. So we'll have to see how these scores come out. But I think we're going to see, like we've seen before, just these scores teams getting tighter and tighter and tighter, not farther apart. At least at the whoa! Did you just see the scores, sir?
I have not seen the scores. Let's see. Oh, Wow.
Wow.
That evened out.
That
Wow.
did.
And they're gonna take, and I'm assuming they're taking the reason why they're first place is just simply
The
for the
kills.
kills. Nice.
Wow.
I kind of gave
What?
it away without
Look how
showing it,
tight.
but
And after 4 matches, I can't wait till you can put that up there, and we can see exactly what happened. But very, 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 very tight.
so as me and Pickford were discussing the possibilities, thinking that it was going to be one way or another, and it turned out pretty much what like we thought, but with a little surprise. So let's go ahead and take a look. So last one standing win tonight's event, these scrims, but only because they outscored kills from the Woo. They both have unofficially 103 points tonight. So the last one standing only taking first place because they have unofficially 8 more kills than the Woo. So very nicely done. So that last round definitely made all the difference uh, in the standings. Let's see. Outcast Alpha is now
Finished in eighth
eighth
place.
and now Hax is in sixth.
But all
Eighth-
those teams are also able to um, push ahead or get at least closer to 187 Black because Hax did have Hax was ahead of Outcast Alpha before this by 10 points. Outcast Alpha was not ahead
Oh, okay. Alpha was the ones trying to catch up to
yeah.
Hax. So then
But
then otherwise
the
they
Woo
just increased
scoring
that lead then.
22 points and Outcast Alpha scoring what is that in eighth place? To get my score, my little cheat sheet
That's like
of what the
It's
score.
9.
Eighth, yeah, 9 points. So they were gonna that's what is that 13 points closer. So the Woo able to close that gap of 35 points by about 13 points. So almost not quite in half, but getting it down to like 22 points going into Monday. So we get very close between Outcast Alpha and the Woo, and then obviously True able to close out. Those scoring 19 points. The True was behind by a little bit more by about 40 or 43, but the 19 points. They were to close it up a little bit too. So it's just getting a little bit tighter. The top 5 right now, a little bit tighter from where it was because I said all the teams are going to get a little bit closer to Dream Killers because Dream Killers finishing in 9th place. They're gonna fall a little bit farther away from 187 Black, but Dream Killers coming a little closer to the 2nd through 5th and 6th team. So, although like we said earlier, maybe I'm not really willing to rule out 187 getting caught, but 2nd through 6th is so very very tight. It's getting closer and closer each week. I mean, what's gonna happen with that 2nd through 6th places? The music's gonna stop and there's not going to be a prize chair for one of those teams.
Yeah.
At the end, one of these teams is going to do all that work. It's be so close. This is going to be close. I guarantee you, it'll be close at the end. And either Dream Killers, Hacks, Outcast Alpha, the Woo, or Tree Sports is going to be without a prize at the end of the season, which makes even though we have 2 weeks left, all these matches are so important, and it's going to come down right down to the end. And as we know, as we do with after every scrim, we have Brownie from Outcast, the leader of Outcast, and once again we have C Dub, the coach from Outcast, back to give us their the closing talks. So obviously we're down, boys. We're done with week 6. 2 weeks ago, the finish is, we can see the finish. The finish is in sight, but still 6 more scrims and was it 20 more individual matches. So a lot of work to still be done before anyone's claiming any type of prize or titles for this first scrim season.
Yeah, it just keeps getting more and more up in the air. It's tightening up, it seems.
It is. I mean, Outcast Alpha. I mean, you guys are. It's almost like it'd be easy. It'd be less stressful if you guys were either dominating or completely out of it. But you guys are kind of like still in it, not in it. It's like so tight. Like each match, everything that everyone's doing is just coming down to like the practice. You feel the pressure, and I'm not even having to deal with it. The pressure is ratcheting up after every single scrim. It's like the scrim is purposely getting scored to make these second through six as tight as possible, to make it as stressful as possible for all these teams as down the stretch run.
I love it. I mean, honestly, this is kind of best case scenario for the way it could have ended, in my opinion. I would much rather this than there be 60-point differences between first and then second and third. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah. I mean,
definitely makes it more exciting.
it's and what I love about it is the personalities of every single team that's in there is so different, and yet they're all like achieving kind of equal results. If you look at the Woo, which I mean is pretty much, for lack of a better term, just trick, just trying to frag out almost to the lack of any type of specific, I mean, they do use tactics, but it's very aggressive. They never pull away from a fight. They're always going at it. Then you have top strikers, a team that's constantly battling, 120 ping. The True Esports comes in here and does well, then kind of disappears. Hacks comes in sixth place today. Team that was dominating, but now is has sixth place today, but it's kind of sometimes there's some sort of now 187 having a rare setback in. But we see is with 187 Black is that they did win on Wednesday, but if you track their scores over the past couple of weeks, coming in, third through seventh isn't out of the ordinary. The problem is that no team is really able to dominate. Like if Dream Killers had gotten a first place finish tonight, got those 30 points versus the um 10 points that what it still got, and we have to close that gap by 20 points, it'd be huge. But the second closest team, Dream Killers, fell actually behind them. So, and then the third place team, Hacks, came in sixth place, so only one place ahead of what is in Black. So no team is really able to close that distance when 187 Black has a setback. So it's I guess to be a little. I mean, it's good for what is on Black, but these opportunities are going away. And if there was a team that was dominating, it could really just be up there. I mean, the Woo did, but the Woo's obviously in fifth place, so they're so far behind. I mean, like 150 points behind. So it's gonna take a lot more than that to catch 187 Black. But I mean, it's and then you have just like on Wednesday. Obviously, it was about Genesis on Wednesday with their second place finish, but tonight it's last one standing, coming in first place. A team that, if I let me pull up the all the scores, real quick. This is a team going into tonight based on just the amount of events that they play in. 1 second, as I pull up the overalls. They are unofficial overalls. They're a team that's currently in 18th place. So even with this first place finish, the most they can really get up to is about 13th place. So I'm not saying it's a wasted first place. It just kind of shows that these teams come in here and just make it. This was causing this HyperX Scrim Season 1 so much drama and stresses. Teams coming in here ripping huge scores out of individual scrims away from the teams that have been here for all the events, and so that teams kind of can't get those scores and therefore dealing with the consequences. So again, another variable that you don't really see in other scrim seasons.
I love it. It forces every team to earn it every time they come in.
It also scares teams too, like when they know a team like Los last one standings, they can frag out. They won tonight's scrims unofficially. So when they don't see them for a while, then they just show up all of a sudden, they're like, damn. Now they got to deal with them. So it definitely adds. I like that it adds a lot of more tension.
And now we see that. We see with last one standing with Meeseeks, with now with Genesis teams that kind of come in here, and it's almost like you're looking at the sign up roster, and then because you see the sign up roster, and then you see a lot of teams that there's teams that have signed up on the sign up roster that have never ever played a scrim in here once, and they've signed up multiple times because they never ever check in, and then you see the check in roster, you're like, oh Meeseeks is in here tonight, or Last One Standing is in here tonight, or some other team that maybe we have, Vixens or Luxurious, whatever. But then, but if they're not in here, you're like, oh, good, that team's. We don't have to worry about that team tonight, but because each one comes in here with a completely different style, and can really, really, like I said, screw up the each server when they get in here. With about every one of those teams can really frag out and do damage. So I guess with 2 weeks to go, what is the mindset of a team a team that could not be more in the thick of the drama, of the stress, of that crucible, that grind that is second through seventh. What do you guys, as you guys have the weekend to kind of get ready for Monday? What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? And what's the game plan?
Well, I mean, we'll obviously have to talk about it. For me personally, it's kind of same old, same old. Get back to basics a little bit. Things that we know worked. One of those things about ride the horse that got you here type of thing. Start calming down and taking each decision as it comes at a basic level.
And with that said, obviously, we've seen now multiple events where Jay White is up with that A team. Wadu, I don't know if Wadu is this out of pocket or it's a tactical decision, but are we looking to see more of Jay White with the Alpha team?
Brownie, take that one.
At this point, yeah. Recently, Wadu has been unable to even play with Bravo. I guess his school is now having it to where he can't play late scrims anymore. So at this point, yeah, Jay White is gonna be with us for the foreseeable future.
Well, another variable that goes in there, obviously, not only do you have to deal with the ability of the player, but their IRL issues, whether it be college, work, all these other variables come in there. You think you got the perfect team set down, and then, if something like that happens. I know Brownie, if it's past 9 p.m., has to hide in his basement to play the game or his parents will beat him. So I know that's obviously a problem with Brownie. Is that still an issue, sir?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
I think they got a cattle. I think they invested in a cattle prod.
I think that as long as Brownie gets his 6 to 8 hours of piano practice in daily, that he's allowed to play some video games. But I said, but I mean, I think that's a great point, Brownie. Is that especially a team like OUTcast spends so much time tweaking, manipulating, turning this knob, and then out of nowhere, somebody's college says, okay, we're not gonna let people play video games past a certain time or night, or some mom or dad, like, they get their report card, and you know what, they lost their phone for a week. All these variables that that nobody can really factor in, that comes in here and really kind of throws everything in, especially when we're at such a pinnacle point of the season, because someone from the outside be like, oh boy, it's a tournament with a bunch of people playing a video game on their phone. But I tell you what, to us, it's pretty damn serious, and we're taking it that way. It's pretty sweaty as we get 6 weeks into an 8-week season. Everyone here has spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, and the fruit of those that effort is coming in fruition now. I'm so excited how tight this is and how exciting it's going to be. That we're not just calling out the. It's like when you're I'm a big fan of the Baltimore Orioles, and usually by about August 1st the season's over and you just watch about 50 games for no point because you're already out of the playoffs. And I'm so happy that all these matches are really just so important for something, not just who can come in 10th or 11th, but for the actual prizes and cash that these teams can win.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. Like you said, that all these teams have been. I mean, obviously not every single team, but the amount of teams that have been able to keep it together. Of course, there's a personnel change here or there, but in the PUBG world, PUBG mobile world, in this tier, a team committing to anything for more than a couple weeks is huge. Much less 8 weeks. I don't think anybody before it would have thought that it would have been this consistent with the amount of people that are coming week in and week out. So I'm proud of everybody.
And these, you're right. These teams are taking this so seriously. I mean, every team that we've talked to, whether it be we talked to Top Strikers, to the Forgotten, to just today with metaphor. All these teams, these OG teams that have been here before the season started, everyone was commented that as soon as this season started, the whole mentality, the whole culture just completely changed from just a normal scrim to a super sweaty, taking everything super, super serious. Because I mean, teams want to do well in these scrims. I think not only just for the prizes, but just because each one of these teams has put so much time, so many efforts, so many matches into this event, and just finishing. If you finish seventh instead of eighth, that's for a lot of teams to be huge. And because like I said, these are not only are these the teams that were playing these scrims, but these are the guys you're playing with outside of scrims and classics, and these are the guys that you're talking to in Discord. And I know that how these teams are finishing especially in this scrim, is really kind of important to a lot of these teams. Because I said it before, I said it Wednesday, and I'll say it today. I challenge anybody to find a tier 3 scrims that are more difficult than these right here.
These are
And
super
if
sweaty.
you show me them, then I'll be, what, you're right. I'll agree. But I have yet to see it. I played a lot of scrims in my day, and I've never seen a sweatier, more challenging lobby week in, week out than this one. Always between 23 to 25 teams, with a great mixture of teams we know plus great teams. Because before we're kind of seeing a couple of teams come in here that were just like, maybe we saw a couple of teams that were like, was it Abel's Fat Cheeks, whatever, teams that would just show up for like one match, get clapped in 23rd place, and it never be heard of again. But now the teams that come in here, like the Genesises, like the Last One Standings, when they come in just for a couple of matches, they're top tier. They're really good teams. They're not coming in here just to fart around. They're coming here to actually do damage.
Well, yeah, and it's turned into a situation where I think teams that are trying to make it to the next tier are trying to go off and do things like PMCOs or ESL. They're seeing this scrim as a potential for real practice,
This is good practice.
versus it wasn't, at one point in time. But the teams that are trying to move up can come here and get real competition. So we are definitely proud of that. Me personally, I feel like we've won already just because of how this has transformed the Outcast events. So
Yeah, it's and like I said, right when I first started, one thing that when I first started casting these, what dawned on me right off the bat was you can get all of and I said before, all of your scrim requirements, like you get a balanced diet of scrims just by doing Outcast. You get your FPP, you get your TPP, and you get your 4-match concept, all from the same place, and you don't have to go anywhere else. You can pretty much, schedule your teams uh, scrim schedule around these 3 events. And plus, if you once you know you're in there, you know how to get in here. It's once you figure out, you know how to check in, you know how to sign up, which was not very difficult. You don't have to worry. You can do other stuff as for fun, but I know for Misfire, we kind of consider these scrims our meat and potatoes, and anything else we do. We might do a duo scrim here. We might do, Castaway. We might do, another one. But this is the ones we don't miss. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These are the events. This is our the backbone of our Scrim weekly schedule.
And a lot of teams I've noticed throughout the season are starting to make them theirs as well. So that's awesome. Anyways, any other messages before we go?
Last
Also,
thing I have to say
wanted to
is,
go ahead. I think I know what you're saying. Monday.
last thing to say is obviously Monday you're gonna have the preseason, but more importantly, last thing I want to say is tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. West Coast, over on Trovo, randoms, a 12-hour custom stream. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The most generous man in casting, giving away hundreds and hundreds of dollars in UC and in prizes every single match. Multiple tens and tens and tens of custom matches, all different kinds. Death matches and races and any type of match you can think of. If you think of a good one, just tell him in chat. He'll probably play that too. But I'll be there tomorrow, and I hope that I'll be able to hear and see a lot of you guys there tomorrow too, over at Untrovo at Random's on Random's channel.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate that. the shout out on stream. Make sure you guys join in, as Pickford said, for Monday, the pre-show starting 9:45 Eastern. 15 minutes before the official start of the scrims with Duke Cummings. He'll be going over the hopefully the official current standings, also with an updated top 10 cherry topper popper. Did I say it correctly?
You did, sir.
Okay, updated. I'm pretty sure. Trick is still gonna be up there in the first place, but we'll see what what happens with the changes in the actual overall power rankings. So make sure you guys come in for that, especially for those of you guys that are in like the second and sixth place current standings. These tonight's scrims are definitely gonna maybe shift a little bit. So definitely come in Monday 9:45 for these HyperX Scrim Season 1 presented by OUTcast Esports, but sponsored by HyperX. And of course, thank you guys so much for letting me stream these. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you guys, me personally, I'll see you guys back here Friday. But make sure you guys join in for Monday with Duke Cummings. And of course, Pickford, as always. Until then, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.